have to go drive somewhere really fast and you put that song on, it helps.
It does help.
I've done it before.
We are live.
All right, let me make all the posty put. I should have leak real quick.
Couldn't make the post first?
I'm gonna miss my first comment, but I don't care.
Okay. Oh, he beat me to it. Oh. Don't do that.
Turn your volume off, Kyle.
Shut up, Norm. Shut up.
You dumb bitch.
Oh, good. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, we're on YouTube.
Yep, good job.
And that's why I started breeding female dogs.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I just, it's...
But one of them's kind of dumb. You usually get one in a litter,
Yeah,
you know?
There's always a runt.
Yeah, there usually is. Good save.
That's how Aunt Marge refers to Harry Potter in the second book.
Ah.
Third book, actually. Third book.
Good to know.
Yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Good to know. Skirt. Oh, Carteropoly. Da Baconator 14 in there first.
What?
You already talking about Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Bro, last night, so I think Harry Potter was on like all weekend.
Darn tootin'.
And I was just
usually is at
TV
Norm's
last
house.
night, and I turned on, it was Deathly Hallows Part 2. I go in the other room, make some food, come back out, and I don't know those movies very well. Like I know enough of them. So I come back in, and it's Voldemort on TV.
He just swore too.
No, I didn't. I said, Voldemort is a swear. He shall not be named. So I sit down, and I instantly go, the boy who lived
has come to die.
I didn't realize it was that part. The second I finished it, he said it. Steph just looked at me. Steph looked at me. She goes, look at you knowing Harry Potter. And I'm like, actually, that was 100% by accident. She's like, no, it wasn't. I'm
That's just like the most memed line from the entire movie.
I just sat down and said, the boy who lived. And he goes, in the TV, the boy who lived. I was like, oh my God. And then, yes, I yelled Hadivi Kadivi at the dogs.
Yeah, the scene where he goes in the dark forest to go face to face with Voldemort while holding the Soul Stone.
How are you guys doing volume-wise?
Bump me.
Up?
Yeah, that's good.
Good?
Yep.
I think I'm fine.
Just plus. Thank you, sir. Okay. Dan, get the posts fired up.
Working on it.
We could just probably get started, but
go ahead. I don't really care. No one ever clicks on the links anyway when I post them.
And a 1, and a 2, and a buckle my shoot. Boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another installment of the Lucis Fast Podcast, your podcast home for all things NASCAR and some things not. I am Kyle Belcher and joined, as always, across the table by Mr. Norman Pelletier. And Daniel Walker.
The boy who lived.
On today's episode, we will violate some copyright infringements, talk some NASCAR news.
It was that good that we violated copyright infringements?
Yeah. Recap the second weekend of the playoffs at the Glen, answer some questions, have some fun along the way. But before we get into that, Dan, tell the people how we put on such a fantastic production.
Sorry, I'm doing something. We are brought to you this week and every other week by Revival Motoring, the Revival Motoring Network, and revivalmotoring.com/B4B. Norm, what's up?
Bucks for the boys.
Bucks for the boys. That is our value for value, PBS style. You pay us, so you have to listen to us kind of system we have. If you want to help us out, you can donate there. It's a recurring monthly donation, $2, $5, $10, or $20, or any combination of those that you'd like. Comes out much like a streaming service. We're just way better.
Yeah.
You don't have to scroll endlessly trying to come up with something to watch like I did this weekend.
That sounds right.
I watched 10 trailers and then didn't end up watching anything.
And then fell asleep.
No, it's trailers of movies I've already seen. And I was like, oh, that movie's on here? Sick. Oh, yeah. Moving on. If you want to do a one-time donation, if you don't want to do the monthly recurring donation, that's fine too. You can use PayPal. Use info@revivalmotoring.com. If you use either one of those options, make sure to leave a note saying Lucis Fest sent you, because then it's fun. More fun for us.
It is. It's a good time.
PayPal is also the home of Kyle's Race Day Challenge. Kyle, what is that?
Race Day Challenge is if you donate the dollar amount that matches the driver's number you believe will win on Sunday and guess correctly, we'll send you a little something something.
Thought Joe had it this week with the one car for a little bit there.
Thought he did.
But he didn't.
Nope.
Those are the monetary ways you can help us out. Other ways you can help us out.
While helping yourself.
Well, this is also monetary, I guess. Hit up our store.
You can.
We have a Shopify set up. The link is in our bio, and it's all over Discord and other places.
It is looseisfast.myshopify.com.
Thank you, Kyle, because I don't remember that. We've added some stuff since last week. We've got a couple hoodies, a couple shirts, a hat, flag. Added a koozie here last week after we were done recording. So if you missed that announcement on Discord, we do have koozies now, which has always been a big hit with everybody.
Who doesn't love a good koozie?
Everybody loves a good koozie.
Fanny pack.
Fanny pack.
Booty shorts.
Those are
B shorts.
B shorts.
Yeah, we don't know what the B stands for.
Basketball. They look like basketball shorts.
Board. They could be board shorts.
No, they're basketball shorts.
They're basketball shorts.
They're booty shorts.
If they were, Kyle would have already bought them.
Yes.
I think Tyler Page is like, what's the B stand for? He thought it was boxer shorts.
He did, yeah.
You can wear them as
He's like-
boxer
he's like,
shorts.
I don't wear boxers or something like that. I was like,
Thanks. We didn't need to know
they
that.
go on the outside. All right, there, Superman.
But yes, go buy some stuff. Thank you to everyone that already has. The shipping seems very quick. Sorry about the green shirts. We're working on those.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened there.
No idea.
Apparently you changed the color and XL turns into 4XL.
Yeah. So that has since come down temporarily until we figure that out.
We'll fix that
we
one.
did on the shirts. Like I said last week, me and Kyle use slightly different websites because on Shopify there's like 3 different options to make stuff, and I used a different one than Kyle. So I saw a couple guys did order a couple variations in the colors of the shirts that I designed. So we'll see if that brand has like a huge swing in color or size.
Yeah, but the green and the black, the ones that I did,
Same
are
brand.
the same brand.
Right. I'm just saying we might just have to switch your shirt over to the other website that I used.
The black was fine. It was just the green,
Right.
which is weird.
But to get different colors.
Oh, yeah.
actually
Whatever.
work.
We'll figure it out.
So yeah, go buy some stuff. We're going to be adding stuff all the time. We've basically unleashed the norm, and it's been fun watching him come up with stuff.
Batch party shirt coming soon.
Yeah, that's going to happen. God, we got to put we should put our Shopify on the back instead of like buy the groom a drink. Buy yourself a shirt.
Can we get, what are the things, the sashes that like bridesmaids wear?
Yes. Yeah.
We need like an LIF bridegroom shirt with sash for Kyle.
I like it. Anyone that wants to sponsor the shirt, let us know. We'll just cover it in sponsor stickers. Make it look like a team shirt.
Oddly enough.
Hondo highly wanted that actually.
not
Hondo
a bad
kept
idea.
sending me a bunch of like F1 style shirts.
Yeah.
Because they sell a shit ton of team shirts more than NASCAR does. And he's like, you guys need to do this one. He goes, you could have like Pro on it, Loose is Fast. You can Hondo the Gas Man. You can put him on it. Like he was all hyped about it. And I was like, as long as we get everyone's permission, I will totally do something like that.
Speaking of sponsor shirts, big news. Speaking of a bachelor party, speaking of sponsorship, we back.
We're back again.
We're doing it again.
Oh, we're not supposed to tell Kyle.
Oh, that's right. It's supposed to be a surprise.
Oh,
Kyle, cover your ears.
sorry.
As of 10 minutes ago,
It's working.
we are now, we will be on the deck lid of the bread rocket. I don't know if it's going to be the bread rocket, but
It's always the bread rocket when he's behind the wheel.
Mr. Bradley Perez is running the Roval.
Squiggly season is back,
Squiggly
y'all.
season is back, and we are very excited because we will actually get to be there this time.
Yeah.
We get to see the car that has our name. We've seen Brad run. Me and Kyle saw him at Coda. And I'm not going to lie, it kind of stung knowing we weren't on the car. I was like, damn it, you know? So we are very excited. We are going to be on the deck lid of the car, just like at Chicago. So if you want to help out with that, and we appreciate that, like we've done with the other sponsorships, you know, we cover a chunk of it, but anything you guys can help out with is greatly appreciated.
Yes.
This is our dream, not yours. So don't feel obligated.
No,
to send
not at all. But
your
if,
entire paycheck to us, but everything helps.
Yep.
So
Hey,
we can.
He just texted me.
The less we spend, ourselves, the more frequently we can do
Yeah,
this.
exactly. So if you want to help out, I know we have a pinned post on the Discord if you're a part of that with the payment information. But Kyle,
Yeah.
do you want to put that out there or no?
Yeah, if you would like to contribute, you can send it to my PayPal, which is kyle.r.belcher@gmail.com.
Yep.
Yeah, find me right on the old PayPals.
Yep. So that would be awesome if anyone can help out with that. As you know, like Norm said, this is our dream. You guys are basically just paying to see us have fun at this point.
Yeah, but you're all part of our little family anyway.
But it's cool to know, like with all the other sponsorships we've done and everybody's helped out, it's cool to know that you guys were a part of it with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We wouldn't have been able to do it without
our
you guys,
name on that
so.
car isn't just us; it's you guys as well. So it's really cool to be able to do.
I mean, the
that.
Watkins Glen truck or
Sonoma truck.
Sonoma truck. I got that confused for a second. The Sonoma truck was absolutely mind melting.
that was
that we
100%
did
you
that.
guys. That was-
The fact that we did that, but now it's just like it's getting, I want to say easier, but it's getting more and more realistic for us to do this a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were borderline. We had the opportunity to maybe sponsor the entire car.
there was talks of that earlier.
We
in the
can't
year.
afford to do that.
Nope.
And I don't think you guys can help us afford to do that unless Dale Jr. is a listener. But
Dale,
it's time to stop being a lurker, start being a commenter.
yeah, come on, buddy.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
We need a small loan of $1 million.
Dale, I'm just saying. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Dirty Mo's got every other angle of this sport covered. You need a fan podcast.
Yep.
You've got drivers. You've got spotters. You've got a retired driver, like
media members.
media member. Come on, like
You
just
have that show of entirely interns.
Yeah.
So have us be interns, but in a colder part of the country.
You have a media member. You can have a media member that is the one-time winner of the media, challenge.
So technically, it'd be a
Goddamn race car driver.
You could have one member that is the regular season champ of our race picks.
Yep.
That's me.
Yeah, there you go.
That's you.
Currently still the points leader, but it's a much tighter
So-
margin than it was last week.
Yeah,
Sure was.
If you guys want to help out with that, that's great. Now on to the non-monetary things. We're going to longer B for beat today.
Oh.
You can leave us reviews on Apple Podcasts. Guess
Did
what?
I hear that Spotify you can leave comments on episodes
They've done
now?
it's
Per
been
episode,
like that
yeah.
for like a year, and I've never looked because I don't know how to look.
You have to look at each episode. There's comments per episode.
Yeah,
any?
I've
I've
never looked.
either.
But on Apple Podcasts, you can leave written reviews. On Spotify, you can leave 5-star only reviews, from what I've been told. But on Apple, we like those because there's written reviews.
Yes.
Guess what?
What?
Got one. Woo! Loose is fast and on the edge of out. Got the title off again.
Yeah. Copyright.
From Derek Bird, B-U-R-D, Bird,
D-Bird.
D-Bird.
That was pretty good, actually.
Do a pigeon, too.
Was that my Nextel phone ringing?
Yeah. 5 stars. Stop.
Okay. Sorry.
Long-time listener on
again.
Spotify.
Or I could do the Birdman.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. That's what I was looking
Just
for.
rub the hands.
That's what I was looking for out of you. Long-time listener on Spotify, so I made an Apple Podcast account just to give these guys 5 stars. That is the commitment we
That's
need
what we
from
like.
you people.
We like that.
That is what
We
we
like
need.
that.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Originally clicked on the podcast because of the cover artwork.
By accident.
Because of the cover artwork, huge Days of Thunder fan.
Yeah. Just
Hey,
don't tell them.
So are we.
And I could not have been happier to discover this podcast.
Awesome.
Just guys being dudes talking about NASCAR.
Hell yeah.
Can't wait to see this show grow bigger and bigger. Highly recommended. Cheers. Beer clink emoji.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Thank you very, very much.
That
We
man went
greatly appreciate
Out
it.
of his way to make an account on a podcast service he doesn't use, and yet some of you won't even subscribe to our YouTube.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. We need more.
Shame.
Take a
Name,
page
know
out of the
your name.
Birdman.
Yeah, the Birdman gets it.
Burp.
Yeah.
I just had a great idea. On either of these websites, can we make custom solo cups?
Just order a sleeve of Luce's Fast Solo Cups.
Yeah, for like beer pong and stuff.
It's not a bad call.
But yeah, that's some of the ways you can help us non-monetarily, like sharing the episode when this comes out and Norm's wonderful artwork.
Yes, please do.
Retweet, share, show us where you're listening from.
Like,
All that
comment,
fun
I
subscribe.
will be slaving over that for hours after this episode, just so you guys know.
You
Come
know.
on down. I've been
thank you
slaving
for-
over this for hours.
Thank you for appreciating it.
All right, that's it.
We appreciate
I'm done.
you.
I'm going home.
All right. Thank you very much, Dan. And thank you, everyone who chooses to contribute in the future. And big shouts to Just Bus, because I think he already did, because he is the best. Love that guy. Anyway.
Stand up, dude.
Oh, his best. Family, awesome. Son, awesomer. Great guy. Anyway, we'll get into callbacks.
Grandma's mac and cheese.
Oh,
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Fire.
I mean, he's a little lax when it comes to guests that he allows in his campsite that bring Jello shots for everybody. That guy, questionable at best.
Yeah, he
But
needs to
just
chill.
Bus, solid dude.
I don't think she should be allowed next year, but that's just me. That's just me.
I had a
If he
great
brings the Jell-O
time.
shots, he's
If
welcome
I
back.
see him walking near us with a cooler, we're attacking him.
I had 75 Jello shots in about 2 hours, and I didn't regret it until I woke up.
I said to Joe, because Joe, average Joe, on our Discord.
Joe, he's right there. Here, this guy's awesome.
Very good, dude. I told him on Discord this week, I was like, Joe, we shared something special at Pocono, but that's not going to stop me from telling you to shut the hell up on Discord, all right?
We had a couple moments.
I was like, I'll never forget that night we shared in Pennsylvania, but cut the shit, all right?
Yeah.
Or that morning of all of us holding down the tents.
Oh, God. That was-
Oh, with all the melted, he had like an entire box of melted Jello shots.
Yeah.
Like, what do we do with
What do we
these?
do with this?
Yeah. All right, we'll get into callbacks as we always do. Calling back to a brutal TV rating for the Atlanta Motor Speedway race,
it? I
down
don't
21%.
Oof to me.
Woof. Between that and how empty the stands looked, like, what does Atlanta have to do?
Up against the NFL.
Oh, it's that
Yeah,
time of
it
year.
was the
again.
first
That's
time they
right.
were up against the NFL, so
Shit,
that
forgot
will
about that.
certainly do it.
Well, you got to think last year's Atlanta race wasn't, so that's going to be a massive. I bet you Watkins Glen's the same way.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it will be. So, yeah, that's that. But now we will call back to... Oh, not the button I wanted.
I mean, it's a fitting button because whatever car I picked was probably crashed this week.
Yeah, that's probably true. Calling back to our race picks, as we do every week. The drought is over. Finally.
And mine has just begun.
We've only just begun.
They started just beginning filming that this week.
2-month drought is finally over.
Was it that long? Jesus.
2 months, 2 weeks. Not great.
Nobody's counting the days, though.
So calling back to Watkins Glen picks, Norm Pelletier chose Mr. Alex Bowman.
Great pick. Horrible
Dan-
strategy.
Dan chose Mr. Chase Elliott.
Was he
Horrible
even in the
pick.
race yesterday?
Yeah. And I chose the race winner, Mr. Christopher Busher,
That's a big 2-point swing right there.
giving me my third win, third checkered flag of the season, giving me an additional 2 points and cutting Norm's lead in half.
You know,
So-
you can be a little flashy, you know, get a bunch of wins here and there, but it's all about consistency.
So
And
I
with
was-
this playoff format, consistency is going to get us.
We
to
get
the
no
end.
we get no points if you don't win.
What?
Ha!
I don't like these rules.
I am mad at myself, but I'm also not because I almost picked SVG last week. Do you understand the amount that I was at the lake yesterday. That TV would have gone in the lake if I would have had SVG and would have won, and then he didn't. So I'm actually really glad I didn't pick him.
That would have been an expensive pick for Dan because he would have misthrown it. He would have hit the pontoon in the process.
Put a hole in a
damaged
pontoon.
that, sunk the boat.
So
Facts.
Dan and Norm finished side by side in 18th and 19th place.
Unfortunately, Bowman edged out Chase Elliott, so I don't get to pick first. So Dan,
Yeah, I really. you got fucked all sorts of sideways.
Yeah, he did.
now that you're picking Denny Hamlin, what else do we get?
So yeah, he's right because this is a win no matter what. Either Denny Hamlin does what Denny Hamlin does at Bristol and I win and get a point, or his shit luck continues and my curse continues and he doesn't move on in the playoffs. Either way, we doing all right.
Yeah.
Actually, no, he'll probably finish like 5th and your guys will finish like 2nd and 3rd. And then
See,
he'll
I'm
still
looking
make
at this as almost like a bye week because I feel like there's no chance Denny Hamlin doesn't win this race. I feel
Pretty
like
much.
that's such a strong pick that I'm like not even going to risk it and pick somebody that I think is good.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with Mr. KFB.
All right.
Because he's good at Bristol.
He is very good at Bristol.
He has like 38 wins there.
Yep.
And we know he's going to upset at least one race at the end of the season. There's no way he doesn't. So, and I think this could be his weekend.
Okay. Sorry. I was just getting text back from Shannon, who is also the best and is going to put a good word in for us.
Hell yeah.
As we asked. All right. So I'm sorry. I was very distracted by that, trying to do 100 things at once, as always.
Dan
So
picked Denny,
Dan
I
chose
picked
Denny. You chose KFB, which, what do I want? Oh, boy.
Also, I'm sorry in advance, Levi. Wait, no, I'm not. He was very mad at me today when I hinted that I might choose Denny.
I think whoever was picking first was going to pick Denny.
Probably. Yep. I've been thinking about picking Denny for Bristol since the playoffs started.
Yeah.
Ooh. Give me
A reason.
man. Those are the
Give you a man?
people I wanted. Give me bad Brad Kozlowski.
What number is he? 6? Got it.
Not bad. Nope.
No, I think he came in 2nd or 3rd in the spring race.
Yep. That's not terrible.
Yeah.
He's gonna be. Is he below cut right now? I think he ended
Yeah,
up
he's
below it,
12
so he's
below.
gonna be fighting.
Yeah.
Is he 12? I thought it was 6. Oh,
No, he's 12. Denny's 6.
Denny's 6. Okay. All right. So lock that in for Bristol. I have Mr. Brad Kozlowski. Dan chose 1. James Dennis Hamlin is going to probably win. And Norm with Mr. KFB trying to play the spoiler. Lock it in. Let's see how it goes.
Another good pick for Bristol. Truex.
Yeah.
He finished 2nd here in the spring. I can't risk it all with Truex.
I mean,
now,
Denny's
dude.
what?
That's
Yeah.
a risk.
Denny's won what? The last 3,
Yeah.
2, or the last
2.
3 asphalt races.
Yeah.
He won the spring. He won the night.
KFB won the last dirt, so shout out your boy.
Denny won in the spring, even though it didn't count. He won last year the night race, and I think he won the night race 2 years ago as well, because there was a dirt race in the middle there somewhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if there's ever a race that he's going to recover and move on to the next round, it's this one. So, but like I
Yeah,
said,
we're gonna see desperate and angry Denny Hamlin this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to see him eliminated too because Dan picked him.
if my curse do be cursing, I ain't mad at it.
I mean, he could pull like a Corey LaJoy and wreck out on like lap 15, take out half of the playoff field, which would be dope.
Or Corey LaJoy could pull a Corey LaJoy into him like he did last year with
Yeah.
Joey.
I hope that Denny
Could.
is the wrecking ball in this situation, not Corey, but
We'll probably talk about Corey a little bit, but can we talk about 2 top 10s and top 15 in the last 3 races?
The comments right now on YouTube.
Suck it, nerds.
Carter Opley, if anything happens to Denny, Psycho Bob will actually become Psycho Bob. When Denny wrecks on Sunday, there's going to be a murder. Joe Spinelli.
Yeah.
He actually, well, we'll get to that, but he also brings up a good point. It is Dale Jr. Race Week.
Sure is. But before we get into that, we have to get into no one's favorite segment of the callbacks, what we call Norm's Scheme of the Week.
Week.
I don't.
Whoa, sick picture.
That picture is fucking awesome.
God damn.
That's a shot.
Dude, what Watkins Glen just delivers. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there's some fire shots in these
That's terrible.
That
paint
looks
scheme
like
lineups.
Coda, or the Roval.
What honorable mentions do you have, Norm? And who is taking the checkered flag for the Scheme of the Week from the Glen? Take it away.
There wasn't.
Honorable mentions.
You're not
nothing-
Norm.
Nothing really stands out.
I
There's
agree.
one scheme that I'm going to need to see
Hey,
in the
look,
picture
it's Ty
for.
Gibbs' car.
Oh, that looked terrible.
Or Ty Gibbs' car. Just orange.
About to pick him for the scheme of the week. so
Were
keep
you?
Going.
I didn't
Yes.
lie.
The Go Bowling car wasn't bad. A little busy.
All 3
Unfortunately,
laps
we
of it?
did not
All
see a
3
lot of
laps
it.
of it. The meat and bone ended up with some rear end damage.
WeatherTech scheme.
It's so
good.
fucking good.
It's so
You know what I love
good.
about that car is you can pick,
Everything.
Well,
The guy in
that and his Xfinity scheme, the WeatherTech car, they can have a zoomed out shot of the entire field on a restart. He can be in 30th and you still know where he is
Yeah.
because of the giant W on the hood. It's great.
And I love that the scheme is both their colors and our colors. His country and ours.
Oh, true. I was gonna say I misunderstood your
Nah,
R.
son, that's America. If I've ever
Yeah.
seen it.
So what do you want me to pull up, Norm?
Ooh, the 20.
What was up with
I've
that?
been liking chainsaw car. So they're
Oh,
it's
is it
like
like
wood.
trees?
it's like tree branches flying all around it. I've been loving what they've been doing with the DeWalt
The
schemes
DeWalt
lately.
schemes have been interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
See how I said that, Dan?
DeWalt.
I said it correctly that time. Bubba's car is kind of Circle nothing.
These are great shots, but you can't really see the
I
schemes.
I do
There was
love
so much going on in that.
the
Bennebone
Benebone car. I love for one thing and one thing only,
Zoomies.
and that is zoomies on the TV panel.
Yeah.
Zoomies. 38. I did not get a good look at the 38 car. It did not look good. 45 Beast Scheme of the Year.
Didn't even see that.
48, man.
What a dude! That picture.
That
is
50 car, I just love black and gold.
Black and gold works.
Oh, yeah.
Flat black and gold bring you back to the Need for Speed Most Wanted days.
Mm.
Every one of my cars was flat black with gold wheels.
Yeah.
Every single one of my cars in that game was flat
Mine
black
were
with gold
always
wheels.
white with a black hood and gold wheels. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to the 54 car, just because I fucking love orange.
I think you're wrong, and I think
It looked better on the Xfinity car.
I liked, honestly, and it's kind of out of left field, and we saw it a bunch on TV yesterday. I thought the 77 looked really good. I liked
Go
it.
down to it. Maybe
I
I didn't
liked
get a
it.
good look at
Which
it.
one?
77.
Mattress Warehouse car.
Old Hosivar.
And it's not a good picture.
It's not a good picture at
No.
all.
I mean, it's a great shot,
It
but
didn't
not
look
of the scheme.
horrible.
I liked
I'll
it.
pick it next week
Yeah.
when it's on the 7 car, when it's on the good one.
Oh, is he getting that next week?
So the scheme of the week is going to the 54 of Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, the CW, a.k.a. Creed wins car, because Creed is going to win this weekend at Bristol.
Yeah, okay. He's going to get his 13th second place.
Nope, he's going to win. Unless he finishes second to Dale Earnhardt Jr., only acceptable
Okay, that's
outcome that I will live with.
And he's good with second places, so forever the bridesmaid.
It's all right. Next year, when he has a team that actually likes him, he'll win.
Yeah,
True.
that's fair. Well, thank you for that, Norm, and we all are a little dumber for having listened to that.
I award you no points.
And make I'm glad you got it.
soul.
I'm glad you got it. It's in my head now because I watched Happy Gilmore on Friday night, which I'll get into. But yeah, fun. So now we get into our Some Things Not segment, in which we call
The Skip 30 segment. Oh, sorry.
Off Track. Start smashing that Skip 30 button. Norm, what do you got?
Not too much. Played a little bit of polka on Friday night.
What was her name?
I want a polka.
Polka. I hardly know her.
I said I wanted to set him up for that. I'm glad he took it.
I did not lose my shirt, which was good. I came out of there wearing a blouse, and I only lost like $15.
Put your blouse back on.
Put your blouse back on. Pockets ain't empty, cuh.
Pockets ain't empty, cuh. And we ain't
The
hungry no more.
cuds in that movie are so nuts.
We ain't hungry no more.
I watched that last week too for
Did you?
no good reason.
Too fast.
I watched 5
too
the other day because it
furious.
was on TV.
The future wife was doing making the pocket square things. She
Yeah.
like the, instead of corsages. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
corsages
So they
instead
were
of
No,
those.
corsage is
Wrong.
that thing. I'm boutonniere.
Boutonniere, thank you.
Boutonniere.
Instead of boutonniere, she's making ones
Ah.
that slide into the pocket square,
Gotcha.
which is sick. So she was doing those, and I put on Too Fast, Too Furious.
I ain't mad at it.
She's like, "Why are you watching the worst one?" I'm like, "Because it's
That's
fucking
not the
awesome."
worst
It
one.
is not the worst one.
It's aged well.
That
I used to
10
think
is
it-
the
honest-
worst.
I haven't
I
seen
don't-
it yet.
It don't.
oh, is that the
10?
one with the baby?
No, that's 9. That's 8, 9.
Yeah.
Fate of the Furious. So
Yeah,
8.
That's
8.
8.
That's the last one I saw.
10 was the first one I did not go see in theaters, and I still am kind of mad at myself for that. Like, that was a long
It's so
run.
bad,
I don't
dude.
care if it was bad. That was a long-running tradition that
Yeah.
I broke, and I'm still mad at myself for.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, off track. What do you got, Norm? Played some polka, lost some money, wore a
Yeah.
blouse.
Also, I didn't do too much crazy shit. Also, I watched the final episode of the Grand Tour.
Brutal.
I finally sat down and watched that last night.
Don't say it. I haven't watched it yet.
Was not as emotionally distressing as I thought it would be.
Okay.
Like,
I
it
didn't
was-
realize
it
I
was-
haven't seen. Did they drop 2, or
No.
did I just miss one from
I think
earlier
they
this
missed
year?
one.
They dropped one. Was it Sand Job? Was that the last
I
one?
think
Yeah.
Job was the last one, yeah.
Yeah, that was maybe early this year or end of last year.
Okay.
Like I've been telling everyone that hasn't seen it yet, the 90% of it is your normal Top Gear Grand Tour special. They don't really touch on it too much. They do a little bit here and there, like there's jokes about them, like James May deleting everybody's numbers and shit when they're done with this, and the Hammond joke. Like, we don't all have to go to the same old folks' home, do we? Like, but then the last like 20 minutes, it starts to hit.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
fucking-
Don't spoil anything.
It's very good.
But it is. I expected to be really upset watching it because I've been watching Top Gear for 16 years.
Same.
I used to. My cousin always had BBC, the British Broadcasting Channel, which is what Top Gear was on.
Don't Google that.
Simmer down, Kyle. He always had that channel, and I never knew what it was because obviously that's not a normal channel around
Yeah,
here.
you did.
So
Yeah, it's not what you thought it was.
I was like, Chad, I'm not coming over to your house to look at BBC. He's like, trust me, these 3 guys are hilarious. But I mean, I used
Dude,
to.
they're huge. They're huge in Europe.
They're all over the place.
Insert flag from Pocono last year.
Oh my god, that was great. Anyway,
So I used to.
canceled.
Back when I was 16, 17 years old, I'd go over to my cousins every week.
Yeah.
And we'd rewatch the episodes
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And then the specials became more and more popular. And I've watched every Top Gear and Grand Tour special probably 3 times minimum. Some of them a lot more, like the original Botswana episode.
Yep.
Oliver! I've seen that episode 50 times.
I've watched the Vietnam episode probably 100
Vietnam's
times. That's
good.
one of my
The
favorites.
one where they're all in the trucks.
Yep.
What is that?
Madagascar one's
Madagascar
really good.
one's awesome.
The one
Except you
where
have to
they're-
watch those Futuras get destroyed, and it bothers me to this day.
No, oh yeah, that when he's driving through the lava pits, and I'm
With
just
the
like
Futuras
no,
on
no,
the Lotus,
no.
and I'm like, just take them off!
Oh, that hurt.
Oh, yeah.
The one where they're like the Range Rover, the Land Cruiser,
Yeah.
the one where they get them and they have to get them off the boats.
Yeah.
Forget
I
which
love
episode
the
that is,
station wagon one where they were trying to find
All
the
right.
source of the Nile.
But I mean, I've been watching Top Gear, like I said, for 16 years. When it went over to Amazon, That's when I bought my Amazon Prime account, was for the Grand Tour. Knowing my family had Amazon Prime, I bought it for the Grand Tour. They had a couple iffy years, and then they picked it right back up, and I think they're back on to where they were originally. Like this episode, nothing about it felt scripted. Nothing felt forced. This was just three old dudes having the time of their life.
Yep, absolutely.
And they did a great job of mixing a bunch of different kind of things together to make it work more than other episodes that they've done, which was really cool and really rewarding.
I'm the same way. I've been watching it. I had a buddy that had a hard drive with every season on it. Up until that point, this was probably 2007, 2008. He gave me that. I put all those on my computer, and then I used to torrent the new ones when they would come out. Because this was before they were on TV. Like, you had to illegally pirate them and get them on your computer. I watched every single episode, even going back to the first season when it was just Jeremy and Richard in the studio, and there'd be like 10 Subaru bros behind them.
I've never seen the first season because
it's not good.
Everywhere I've streamed it, it starts with season 2.
Sorry,
with like introducing James May.
The first season's terrible because it's in the same studio. I swear to God, it was like the local Subaru Owners Club, and their 25 people showed up every week, and that's all it was.
Yeah.
But it just, that show is just, even the not specials, even just the weekly show was unbelievable.
Well, the big stars and little cars for a long time was always awesome. Just
that show is
reviewing, because I mean they started out reviewing just normal shit.
Yeah.
And then it kind of turned into we're only going to review the Rimmicks and the McLaren F1s.
That show is so
like
ingrained in my life that if you remember, I think it was the first or the second, star in a reasonably priced car was the Kia Ceed, the CEE apostrophe D. I saw one of those when we were in Europe, and I lost my shit. Steph was like, "Why?" I'm like, "Bitch, it's the thing.
It's the reasonably priced car."
Michael Gambon almost flipped that over.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to watch it, and I look forward to it.
Yeah,
it's what is it? 2 hours and 20 minutes or something.
2 hours.
It's a hike.
It is. I postponed it as long as possible because I thought this is gonna be really emotional watching this. It wasn't. It was enjoyable beginning to end. The ending, I think they did it really sweet.
They did.
They didn't force you to feel things. It was just kind of like
it was natural.
It was almost organic. Like it was like fading off into the sunset almost. It was really nice.
Dan, what do you got?
Yeah, not much. Took probably the last blast up on the lake this weekend. It was going to be nice out, and the next few weekends are packed. So it was like, well, fuck it. Let's go up there. Went up Saturday, stayed Saturday night into yesterday, went on the boat both days. A little last blast of summer, so to speak. It was nice. Depressing leaving. We pulled out of the sandbar last night, and I was like, see you next year. Like, God damn it. I feel like summer just started, and we're already like wrapping it up.
Yeah.
So now I have one free weekend in the next till November. So that'll probably be when we pull it out. Because like next weekend we have a wedding and we have to bring the camper up to the fair. Then the weekend after that's the fair. Then we're going to Charlotte. Then I'm gone for 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden we get back Halloween weekend. And
right.
By then the lake will be too low to get the boat out. So it's like, shit, we got to get this thing out of here. So that'll be in the coming weeks. But aside from that, just
chilling.
Not a whole lot, really. I mean, just same old shit. Got a plan to get the GTI back on some sort of road. I don't know what that is, but
nice.
Get there. Got to get it to my buddy's shop now.
Mine not too crazy of a week. Saturday spent a good chunk of the morning with the fiance buying her new car. She got a new Tiguan. Super stoked for her, and really happy to have the Q3 out of my life.
Did you trade that in?
Yeah.
So did you guys have to put it all back to stock?
He did that
I
already.
did,
Yeah, he had put it back to stock. Me and him have talked about it a bunch. That thing was going back to stock because it kept breaking all the modified things.
Yeah, the air suspension just never fit in that thing properly, so it kept snapping leader lines. I went through like 4 sets of leader lines. It rubbed through bags multiple times, so I tore it all out a couple weeks ago. Just pulled the management out of it Friday night. That stuff was still in the trunk, so pulled that out Friday. Traded the car in Saturday. 3P.
Okay.
And traded that in. Yeah, so she got the new Tiguan, which is super nice.
She has joined as I broke it to Kyle, because we forgot about it, she has joined the Tiguan Wives Club.
Yes.
So pretty much everybody, I think everybody on Topics, I don't know about Mark, but I think Ryan's wife has a Tiguan. Cassie has a Tiguan. I think Blake's wife has a Tiguan.
Your wife?
My wife has a Tiguan. I think Josh's wife has a Tiguan.
My soon-to-be wife.
We figured it out a while ago that like all of our spouses drive Tiguans.
Steve?
Yep.
One of the other groomsmen?
Yep.
His wife, Sarah. She has a Tiguan.
Like it is
Steph's best friend.
It is the Volkswagen guy's wife's car.
Yeah, absolutely. And big shouts to Mr. Timmy Fournames in the chat, actually right now.
helped you out
set
on
us up with the sales lady.
SEL?
Yeah, SCLR line. Super nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, stacked to the moon.
Keeping it stock.
Steph like loves her.
Keeping it stock.
Yeah, it's under warranty.
No
so-
ruining dailies.
Yes.
That's like a grown up rule.
Yeah, I won't ruin the truck, but I did ruin my other one.
Yeah, I mean, just drop springs, if anything. But it's not getting bagged for a very long
My
time.
Steph loves her Tiguan, and she would get another one, but she's kind of in that mode where the new ones are like so similar to the one she has a 19.
Yeah.
They haven't changed them at all. Like it's the
No,
Volkswagen
it's just the
thing
extra
where
stuff.
it's the facelift. You know, it's
But 0% financing right now.
that's really good.
Which is a good deal.
Really?
So yeah, did that Saturday, and then Sunday went down to the beach pretty close to my house in Hull, Massachusetts, called Nantasket Beach. They do a twice a year car show.
Is that Nantucket, but fantastic?
No.
No, not quite.
I used to go to Hull when I lived in Boston at night. You know where the windmill is? Right
Yeah,
off
down the end.
You go down
Hull
there
Gut.
and you have some sick skyline pictures of Boston from down there. We used to blast down there, me and my buddy John, and take
Yeah,
pictures. It was
great
sick.
spot. So yeah, they do a car show twice a year. A lot of hot rod stuff,
Looked
a lot of
awesome.
modern
It looked-
stuff.
Looked awesome.
Yeah, really good turnout. So I brought the Harlequin down there. Went to Mayflower Brewery on Saturday evening.
Did you feel at home?
Yes, I did. The beer of my people.
dad
Everything came in
owns this
steins. It
will-
was like a little plant thing, and so yeah, we bopped around there and got some food with our friends. Hung out with Mr. Fournames himself and Joey. Watched the race yesterday, and went out to lunch with Sarah and Steve. So yeah, well,
I am
a couple things.
I am as the guy who doesn't drive his fun car. I'm so happy for you because you've had the Harlequin now for what 3 years since you finished it, and I've never seen you use it so much, and I love it.
Oh, it
Like,
does shit out of it.
I love being able to see you. It's like every weekend you're at a different random thing, and I love that for you because I know how long you waited for that car.
Yeah.
And the first 2 years of it being temperamental and used to piss you off, like
I hated
so-
it.
You did for a long time.
Yeah.
So I
We've-
love seeing you being able to actually finally enjoy your car.
Yeah, quote unquote finished the build. It was never finished.
No.
because it was never right.
Yeah.
And then yeah, after dust off this year, finally got it right. And yeah, I mean the whole point, I wanted to drive it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously it's a car was built to the nines. You know, in and out, restored, if you will, whatever. But I never intended for it to be a trailer queen.
Yep.
And it wasn't going to be one of those things. It's like, oh, don't even look at it.
Yep.
You know, like Bodie was in the car this weekend with Steph, and like I make sure she holds him so he doesn't fuck anything up or anything. But like I'm gonna drive it.
Yep.
I've always wanted that car, and I'm gonna fucking drive it.
Yeah.
And when I'm driving it, I get on it, and I just enjoy it. And if I blow the damn thing up, I'll do it all over again.
Yep.
So thank you very much for that.
No, I wanted to say that because it's like I feel like every weekend it's, oh, what's Kyle doing? Oh, he's at some random,
Local
cars
show,
and
whatever.
coffee or cruise night or whatever. You know.
What I've learned that I need to do is get some type of window thing. You know, like people always put like a plaque in front of their car,
Yep,
which is stupid.
The boomer sign.
Yeah, I hate that. I need to get something. I need to get like a kind of a window sticker-esque thing that says, yes, this is real. Yes, it came this way.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't have to repeat myself 975 times.
Yeah.
Which it's great that everybody asks about it,
What
especially
you
at that
should
show.
do- what you should do is pull the old man thing. Find an original like advertisement.
Yeah,
Like
that'd
a
be a good one.
Volkswagen advert, because I mean, you see guys with that at muscle car shit all the time. My dad's got advertisements for every one of his cars, which they're
Yeah.
not like something special like the Harlequin. But if you can find some sort of advertising thing from when that was new, even if it's not real, even if it's just like a printout of a fucking Google image,
Yeah.
then people, oh wow, it must have came from the factory like that. That'll solve all your problems.
Yeah.
Make like a fake news article saying that like Prince custom ordered this car. And then put that in your window.
No, I want like something that looks OEM. It's like
Yeah.
that just says, hey, this is real.
This is a thing.
Which, I mean, it's great that people always come up to me and ask me about the car, but it's usually like, it's either people are super happy because they know what it is and like, holy shit, is this actually a real one? I'm like, yes, it is.
Or the guy that, "Why would you paint
why'd
a car
you do
like
that?
that?" Yeah.
I had probably 30 people like, why'd you do that? Like the
didn't.
few times that I was actually sitting by the car. And everyone that was hanging out with us was like, does that get old? I'm like, no, because people are like always smiling and enjoy seeing the car or whatever. It puts smiles on everybody's face, but it does get a little repetitive.
Well,
Like,
I
nope,
remember-
it came that way.
I remember being a kid, someone owned a Harlequin in Manchester. I used to see it driving around.
Yeah.
It was bone stock, and I thought they did it themselves. I didn't know that it came like that. This is, late 90s probably. The thing was probably only a couple
Like
years old
the
at that
mascot
point.
for the clown college.
Yeah, I had no idea until later in life, and I was like, "Fuck, I remember seeing one of those all the time.
Yeah.
Speaking of car shows, I did want to bring this up. John brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Revival has announced it yet, but Josh did give John the okay to say it, so I'm going to say it for any of our local listeners. Josh did complete his Texas run.
Yes.
The car is sitting behind us right now. He made it back in one piece. I don't think there was any major breakdowns. There's a whole plan for a film, and John had the Widowmaker guys on last week. Apparently, I think we said it was like the first Sunday of November. They're going to do a film release party at Widowmaker, and apparently it's going to be like a bring your cars out car show kind of thing.
Nice.
So if anyone's local and wants to come hang out, we'll probably have more information about that.
Yeah,
I'll be
as long
showing
as it's
off
not the
Silverado.
second.
What?
As long as it's not the second Sunday of November, we'll be there.
Oh, good call. Yeah.
That's my wedding. All right, now that you've skipped enough, let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah, you can stop skipping now.
NASCAR
Breaking
content.
news.
The news. Beautiful. Hello.
The news. All right, we'll get into the couple bits of news that we have from this past week. Some of the bigger bits of news, if you will. We'll just go with the bigger one. Parker Kligerman's in the news. Parker Kligerman announced this past week that this will be his last season racing full-time. So he will no longer be the full-time driver of the 48 Big Machine Chevrolet in 2025.
That sucks.
I hate it. I hate this news. I mean, I'm happy for him. He said it was like, it sounds like it's his decision,
It
and
does.
I guess he was like, oh, for a run in Sonoma or whatever like that, and he's like, I just kind of came to the conclusion like I'm good,
Yeah.
which sucks because we've only seen him full time. This is now the second season. Everything prior to that was like, part time here, part time there, whatever, and we always wanted to see what he could have done, and he's showing it. Like he's done very well in not a top tier car, and I mean, he's got a really strong cushion heading into the playoffs, barring something ridiculous. He'll be in the playoffs. But, yeah, I mean, I'm happy for him if that's his personal decision. But I, as a fan, hate it because I really like Parker a lot.
Yep. Yeah, I wonder if almost like there was like a team decision to step back from full time, and that's kind of his team. And he was like, I'm not going to look for another job. Because they have been doing a little bit more. I've seen more this year than before where they haven't been sponsoring the car as much. So I wonder if they're almost like it's a money thing. But I've always liked Parker. I mean, hell, I raced with him on NR 2003 20 years ago. So Parker's a good dude. He's good for the sport. He's obviously an NBC reporter. Mm-hmm. He's fantastic.
He kills it on pit road.
Yeah, he's
He's the
fantastic
best.
on the broadcasts. He's a hell of a racer, good road racer. So, yeah, a little unfortunate that he hasn't done a little bit better in that car. I'm sure he wants to go out with a couple victories if he can. But, I mean, I'm happy to hear that it's seemingly a Parker decision, and
Yep.
he's okay with it. If not, he's the one who pushed for it.
Yeah.
I would love to see him get a checker flag before the end of the season, right off into the sunset.
Same.
Or make a deep playoff run, whatever.
Either one of those,
I like him a lot. So, Godspeed to Mr. PK. We're obviously going to still see him
I'll
at
say
the
he
track
ain't-
on a constant basis. He's not
Yeah,
going anywhere.
He ain't going anywhere.
Hate it, but happy for him. Next bit of news I got here, Red Bull is in the news. We are actually talking NASCAR content. Red Bull is in the news because Red Bull announced over this past weekend that they have signed Connor Zilisch as a Red Bull athlete. That marks now the second Red Bull athlete that is going to be a full-time driver in 2025.
Boy, that paid off real quick.
Sure did.
Twice.
This is not only massive for Connor Zilisch.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably got to be one of the youngest Red Bull athletes ever. But-
Some of their extreme athletes are
Yeah, I
pretty-
guess like skateboarders and stuff like Ryan Scheckler was probably a Red Bull athlete at like 12 years old.
skateboarders now are pulling 900s at 8 years old. It
Yeah.
makes me want to vomit.
But this, I think, is huge for NASCAR as well. I mean, obviously, we have SVG, who kind of carried his Red Bull athlete with him
Yep.
from Australia, New Zealand, but it hasn't been a super vocal sponsor for him. They haven't been on the cars. They haven't been on his fire suit. He just has a Red Bull helmet, and you see him on pit road holding a Red Bull can. So it wasn't a super vocalized sponsorship agreement. Connor Zilisch, them grabbing him now, where he's clearly planning on staying in NASCAR for the rest of his career, this is a huge step for Red Bull.
Yep.
They're not continuing to invest in an athlete that moved to NASCAR. They are signing an athlete in NASCAR.
Yep.
So I think that's massive in its own.
Could we see a Red Bull car?
The
would be
little
cool.
bit of Denny's show I listened to, because then DBC came out, and I'd rather listen to that because fuck Denny.
Thought you were all in this weekend.
I'm all in this weekend. Until
Yeah,
I'm
what are
out-
you talking about?
Until I'm all out.
Here, you want this?
No, I don't. Forgot that was there.
You have to wear it around your neck for the rest of the...
If he wins, I will. If he wins to Bristol,
If Denny wins Bristol, I am buying you a Denny Hamlin shirt, and you have to wear it.
Nope. Save your money. Save your money.
You're no fun.
Unless it's like a cool vintage one with like a Gen 4, then maybe I'll maybe.
All right.
Maybe.
If Denny wins Bristol, you have to bring your Denny koozie next week and use it the entire show.
Where the fuck did I put that?
It's in the camper.
It's in the camper, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's where they all end up.
It's probably.
That is
Well, you
koozie
took it from
purgatory.
here and you put it in the camper. It was in the camper at Pocono.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look in the bundle.
Where's my koozie? I know where it is. It's in your camper.
Well, because
I seen it.
the junk drawer in the camper, we actually took a headlamp and just tied the bundle of koozies up. That's where they all go to die.
Yeah.
He's one of his co-hosts asked same thing. He's like, could we see a Red Bull car again? And Denny was like, I think this is more of like a personal contract. Like it's not. I mean, who knows? But it seems more of like he called it a helmet deal. He was like just a more of a personal contract.
And I mean, what better?
That's fine. That's fine.
Hell yeah.
What more do you want? I mean, growing up, watching Travis Pastrana race dirt bikes with a Red Bull helmet was the coolest thing ever. All I ever wanted was a Red Bull helmet.
Oh, well, that's the big thing in the extreme sports world in snowboarding. When you see somebody show up or in a video part with a Red Bull helmet, they made it. Like, you have to be, like, that's a badge of honor to have that Red Bull helmet.
They were selling them. There was a ski shop up at, I think it was Bretton Woods that had them. You could buy them. I was like, I don't deserve that.
didn't
That's
earn
the
that.
thing, yeah. Like, when you see someone in a video part on a mountain bike or BMX bike or snowboarding, skateboarding, and they're wearing a Red Bull helmet, that's somebody.
You're the real deal.
That's the real deal.
Yeah.
So to see two guys in NASCAR with Red Bull helmets, that's fucking sick.
And they're both the real deal.
And they're both,
And you know what
oddly
else?
enough, the real deal.
You know what I found to be the craziest part about this whole thing is Scott Speed is still a Red Bull athlete.
Yes.
Like that's who you want as the face of your
Yep.
organization right now. Because Scott Speed's kind of a scumbag.
Yep.
True.
So I was kind of like about that, but it's super cool. Like I said,
Yeah.
this
Huge
is
deal
more
for
money
him.
coming into NASCAR, more eyes on NASCAR. This is now a Red Bull sponsored athlete that is going to represent NASCAR. And like DBC was saying, he's going to go to all these Red Bull events now.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be at the X Games winter fucking cross, whatever they call it, cheering on the Red Bull snowboarders. He's going to go to an F1 race and cheer on the F1 or Red Bull F1 team.
Maybe.
It comes with the gig.
Kinda. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Promo
this
tour.
is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shortly after signing that deal, he becomes the first driver in NASCAR history to win the pole in his debut in multiple series.
He's a problem.
Yeah.
I said
Obviously, we witnessed it at COTA, watching him set the record and then beat his own record.
He set the record, beat his own record, and then when you realize that the next closest car was, what was it, a second and like 2/10?
Yeah, it was like 1.2.
Yeah.
Back when we were sitting there.
1.2 faster. Like me and Kyle were watching the video board because we weren't by the start finish line. So we had a video board in front of us. We watched him go by and we watched the time flash up and we both had that realization of how much faster it was than the next guy down. And we just looked at each other. We were like, what the fuck just happened?
And then he comes blistering by again and beats it again.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, okay. Yeah. So huge deal for him. And this kid is going to go somewhere. A lot of pressure on him because there's a lot of expectations,
When you
but
get
he
this
backs it
much
up.
attention at 18 years old before you even step foot in the car, like that's
That's
going to go to your head. But he seems like he's handling it. But I'm going to give him the Cole Trickle real quick. Let's see how you do in a crowd.
Yeah.
Everything he has ever raced, as far as I know, obviously I haven't followed this kid's career for the past 3 years that he's been driving stuff because he's 10 years old. But everything that I've ever seen him in recently where he's gotten the attention, he's just been so lights out. But it's like in the Xfinity field, and they were talking about on DBC.
Well, I was going to say his line on DBC of, well, I have to see how I do with air because I've never been in dirty air.
That
He
much
didn't-
dirty air. He corrected himself.
He
and said
didn't mean that
much.
as a humble brag, but it came off it like you could tell he didn't mean to say it like that.
Yeah,
but
he's
Yeah.
never been 28.
he's never been.
A couple comments in the chat that are great. Carteropoli said, I'm sure we'll get to it. TJ said he was telling him to save fuel and slow down, and somehow he ended up going faster and saving more
Yeah,
fuel.
it was insane.
Tyler Page, I'm pounding the table saying, let's go, kid, every time I see him race. And Spinelli with Connor's so likable, quickly becoming one of my favorite drivers.
That's because he drives
He's-
for Trackhouse.
The second he
Joe.
signed with Trackhouse.
Yeah,
Joe.
Joe, calm down.
I agree with him in becoming so likable
Yes.
because the kid, you put a mic in the kid's face and he's like a seasoned veteran.
You forget that he's 18 years old. His post race interview on Saturday, like, I was like, damn, this kid sounds
He's like-
he's been there.
Now
He's
you
a
see
young
exactly
Zane
why
Smith.
Harvick was like, nope, you're coming back here to race NASCAR.
Yes. Yeah.
He's a young Zane Smith, but he's hopefully going to make the right career decision.
He did lose some points with me, though, when he said, I'd really want to thank the older guys that have taken me under the wing, like Noah Gregson and Todd
Ty
Gilliland
Gibbs.
and Ty Gibbs. I was like, son of a bitch.
Could have gave Harvick a little shout out there. He helped you out a lot.
No, I more meant that's who he considers the old guys.
But yeah, this kid is obviously immensely talented. Hell of a road racer. But I'm curious to see how he handles not being in the first car.
Yep.
So that'll be fun
He's
to watch
running
at Kansas
and Homestead. Kansas and Homestead are going to be the interesting ones to watch because even though, yes, he's run and won ovals in ARCA, there's two competitive cars in ARCA.
But all he's racing is William Zawalich.
Yeah.
What's his first name?
Oh,
William?
big shouts to our boy Taylor. Just sends me the ad.
That's what you need right there.
you go.
There we go. Sprint problem
but
solved.
when he goes to ARCA racing, he's really only battling one car, and it's a neck and neck battle the entire time. He's not walking them.
Yeah.
So it'll be super cool to see how because he's never raced a mile and a half. Obviously, he's not old enough. So it'll be super cool to see how he adapts to that and how quickly he learns at that stuff. So I'm really excited to watch how he does at Homestead in Kansas, but I don't expect him to be the best thing since sliced bread at those tracks.
No.
He's not going to qualify a second and a half above pole.
Yeah. Taylor, if you're still in here, you want to go on pit road?
Yeah, we're working on that for you.
You're going to get to come see our world.
Yeah, buddy.
Burn that leg on an exhaust pipe, son.
All right, and the last thing that I wanted to touch on before we get into the race recaps
He's got
is
nice legs.
Toledo Speedway. Did you guys see this?
Oh, yeah.
Holy Toledo.
Yeah, this was not good.
This was disgusting.
So Matt Tift, he's raced, some trucks and a little Xfinity, I think?
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
around
He's
for
also
a
the
while.
former part owner of Live Fast
Yeah, I
Motorsports.
think he
Yes.
had a couple cup starts.
So he was racing a late model race there. He didn't say what tour it was or anything like that. He kind of was trying to walk that line. He didn't even say who the driver was, but obviously they were all wearing his shit.
Yeah, everyone figured that out.
Mentioned the driver.
He did later. So they got into it during a race, apparently yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And he went over to confront the driver. There was a video. It sounded like Matt was mic'd up. Like there was, it sounded like they were filming like YouTube content or something. Maybe.
Could be, yeah.
I don't know. So he goes over and he's like, starts talking to the kid, confronting him. And somebody says, you came to the wrong place. He gets tackled by one of the driver's crew members. And then it's over. They were like,
Yeah, big old guy who was holding him on the ground, kind of just wrestling with him. And Matt's just trying to he's not trying to fight the guy.
Yeah, and
he's got his back to the guy.
It seemed like it was over in that moment. They tackled him. He basically said, "You came to the wrong place. Fuck this, fuck that." And some dude, some big ogre-looking dude, which I thought I saw somebody say it
Brian
was
Blaze.
is that the he's been named?
Yep.
Okay.
He has been exposed from Van Meter Racing.
Van Meter. Yeah, that's the driver, the kid, something Van Meter.
Yeah, it was Derek Van.
Oh, exposed him.
Apparently, the kid had wrecked, not only did he wreck Tiff, but I guess he caused 3 more accidents.
Yeah,
that
Tiff
race.
said it was $200,000 worth of damage.
Yeah, to multiple cars.
Yeah.
So they're wrestling on the ground, and it's seemingly over. And this Blaze dude,
I wouldn't even say they're wrestling. He the crew guy dragged him back and they both kind of fell to the ground.
Yeah,
he just
was
kind of stayed
he was
there.
bear hugging him, but from behind. So it's not like Matt's face to face with him, swinging at him
Yeah,
or
and they
fighting
fell-
back. He's literally bear hugged from behind, tackled onto
Yeah,
the
and
ground.
they fell in between two war wagons, two
Yeah.
pit boxes. And the Brian Blaze dude just walks over from the other side of the pit box and just punts Matt Tift in the face. Just kicks him square in the face like he was punting a football.
Yep.
What the fuck is that? I've never seen. So, we see this shit all the time with short track fights and all that stuff. And
Right.
you look at the comment section and it's usually split. People are that's unacceptable. That's not good. Then you have the people that's just short track race and that's fuck.
He
this.
deserved it.
I was looking at the video Matt Tift put up today because he said he originally said he wasn't going to press charges, but I guess he's thought about it and he's
have you seen his face?
and he's still thinking about it. He's like, "What do you guys think?" I have never seen a comment section more unified. Every single person was like, "That was fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
That was unacceptable. He should be banned." The only people that said he shouldn't press charges there was people that were like, they should just ban him from life from that track from other tracks
That
from
series,
that series,
yeah.
and then maybe don't press charges. If they don't do that, then press charges. But it was completely unified that everybody said press charges.
1,000%.
That was disgusting.
I made a comment on there. I said, even if you don't want to press charges, I think you are obligated to press charges because in series like that, you have, 14,
Well, that's what he said that
15,
in the video.
16-year-old kids that you're trying to teach. They are learning. They're learning from the people around them. They're going to learn the behaviors of the people they're around on Saturday, Friday nights. You see some big dude just sucker kick someone in the face who's being held down on the ground by somebody else super cheap shot. Could have hospitalized the guy.
Apparently-
His face
fucking
is
killed him.
his face is
He's got a
destroyed.
massive black eye. He's
Yeah,
got
could've
cuts and
killed him, you're
scrapes
right.
all over his face. I did see a
He-
comment that said
Wailed him.
apparently that team, this is not their first rodeo, the Van Meter team. And apparently, again, this is comments. This isn't verified. I don't know. I'm just going off of people's comments. This guy, this big dude that did the kicking, is known for getting involved in fights that he shouldn't be involved in. So that's what I saw multiple people saying in the comments. That's why you should press charges, because this guy needs to learn that there's fucking consequences for his actions.
Yeah.
And
And the young crowd needs to learn that there are
Matt's-
consequences for being
that was one of the
like
things
that.
That was one of the things Matt had brought up in his video. He was like, I race in these series. There's 13-year-old kids coming up, and they need to see that that's not right.
Yeah. I think the track needs to ban him for life. The track needs to come out and say something. The series needs to come out and say something for sure. And I absolutely think he should press charges.
That is on par, if not probably worse than, what was it, last winter when Landon Huffman put that video up. Remember the chick, like they got in a wreck and she hunted him down and like drove over the back of his car. And then in the same moment, her dad was like her spotter and she went up to Huffman's dad in the spotter stand and like sucker punched him in the face.
I don't think
That
I
was
saw
last
that.
winter. That was all last winter. Landon had a bunch of YouTube videos about it.
Yeah, his dad got assaulted. They pressed charges.
They did. I think they pressed charges.
But
yeah.
this is, we've talked about it a million times. Go back to the All-Star race with Ricky Stenhouse's dad. We've said crew guys and family should not be involved in fights. It's unacceptable. If two drivers start throwing hands, yes, your crew can break it up and probably should break it up.
Yep.
But Matt Tiff never even got, I'd say, within 10 feet of the actual driver because they tackled him before
He never even
got
said.
to him.
He never even said like, "Hey, dude, what the fuck was that?" He was like walking over there and got tackled by crew guys, not even the driver. That I'm with you.
That was what I said in the comment too. I said, crew members shouldn't be involved, but if they have to, it's just to break it up when it's gone on long enough.
Two drivers, if they want to have words, which Matt, I don't think went over there to fight. He went over there to be like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
Probably to explain to him, hey, what you did just cost me and these four other guys a collective $250,000.
Yeah. So if two drivers want to have a conversation and if it comes to blows, whatever, let that happen.
Yeah.
I agree. Crew guys, once you have crew guys fighting each other or fighting drivers or fighting family members of no, that's way too much. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, Matt Tift is worth way too much money to go and fight people in the infields of these short track races that don't matter.
Yeah.
Do you think Dale Jr. is getting in fist fights in the Cars Tour?
Yeah.
No. Matt Tift is worth $20+ million now after selling Live Fast. Look how bougie fucking BJ's living.
Yep.
Matt Tift is equally living that life, and he's doing this for fun. And he's doing this as somebody who's gone through every tier of NASCAR, succeeded, cashed out, and now he's just enjoying his retirement.
Yep.
At 29.
Yeah, and it's
We fucked up.
and like we said, like he's going probably to talk to this kid as more of a learning experience than anything. He's not going to throw hands.
I don't think he should.
First
like,
of all, look at Matt Tift. He's not there to fight. But it's
if you watch the video, he doesn't go over there like screaming, yelling with his hands like in a fighting stance.
Yeah.
He goes over like I don't even think he, like I said, I don't even think he got a word out before he got tackled.
like he might have said, "Hey,"
Yeah.
but it was just like this is unacceptable.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
Like
that's-
it's the first guy should get in trouble for tackling him because drivers are worth more than crew guys, and you just tackled a driver
Yep.
unwarranted. And then the second guy should be arrested and banned.
Agreed.
Like that is, I understand.
Agreed.
Like police shouldn't get involved at racetracks. It's kind of like wrestling or UFC. It's like you've agreed to play in this playground, but this is way beyond the scope.
That is,
Drivers
that,
should
it's flat out assault
The thing
battery.
is,
I
look
that's
at
all
it.
that
I look
is.
at it as the same as like hockey. You go to an NHL game, two players are fighting. They agreed to this. They signed up for it. They can fight. It's not assault. If I jump over the fucking glass and start throwing hands, I'm gonna get arrested for assault.
Yeah.
That crew guy,
Guess what? You're
family
sleeping
member,
on a concrete bed that night.
yeah, that crew guy, family member or whatever. The drivers signed up for racing, and they obviously didn't sign up to fight, but like it's kind of an unimplied thing. Like, all right, if this happens, we're not going to charge anybody with assault. But when the guy that tunes the carburetor comes over and fucking drop kicks somebody in the face.
We've heard
That's a problem.
Freddie Kraft talk about this, Skip Flores. There's only a few short track guys that are on social media and pretty vocal. But we've heard these guys talk about this. There's families that are known to go to these tracks. Landon Huffman's talked about it clearly.
Yep.
That are there literally to fight and maybe have a race.
Yep.
Like I know there's stories, a bunch of people in the sport and around the sport have shared them. Like I think Jimmy Spencer talked about it. Like that was his family back in the day.
He did.
Like they when he was on the Dale Jr. Download, which was a fantastic episode, by the way. I think it was last year.
That was last year, the year before.
When his family went to the track, it was there for a fight. Maybe a race would break out. I think Mike Davis used to say that.
Yeah.
Like, we're here for a fight. Maybe we'll have a race if we have time.
Yep.
Like, that was like some families go to these short tracks looking to have a fight.
Yep.
That's where people go to the bar looking to fight people. Some of these families, some of these teams go to tracks looking to fight people. But both sides need to want to fight.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have one side that wants a fight and one side wants to have an educational moment.
Yep.
And you, like Kyle said, sucker kick somebody, which is a term I don't think anyone's ever had to use. In the past.
That was not a light kick. That was, Matt on his
that was
video.
borderline a curb stomp.
On his video, he like kind of isolated it and played it a couple times. That was a fucking boot right to like the bridge of the nose.
That's a wind up.
Yeah, right to the bridge of the nose too. That's disgusting.
That dude's wearing steel-toed shoes. That's end of the day.
Yeah,
I saw that. That made me sick, genuinely. So
Same.
we're not giving it any more airtime, but fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I hope he's banned forever, and I hope he's arrested, genuinely.
Yep.
That made me so disgusted just seeing.
On the bright side, there are some other news stories kind of circulating, rumors that seemingly have a lot of power to them. Obviously, the Alex Bowman rumors started with DBC, and their backing behind it was there's a fifth Hendrick driver. Supposedly, Justin Haley has been signed to a contract with Hendrick, and they are seemingly farming him out to Spire Motorsports in the 7. If that's true, a Rodney Justin Haley team up at Spire with seemingly more Hendrick support than they currently get, that's cool. That's cool for Justin. I love Justin. He's a good kid, super talented. Him and Rodney with Hendrick support, I think that's going to be a cool team. So hopefully,
could be
if
huge.
there's any truth behind that, hopefully it is true. I think what a lot of people are speculating is this is the future replacement for the 48 team. I don't see that. But that being said, I hope Justin has a bunch of success in that 7 car.
Yeah.
And like we said before, we don't really want to root for Spire anymore. They kind of burned their bridges with us. But
I won't be
signing Justin Haley, like that's a step in the right direction because I've always liked
Yeah.
that kid.
I know you like him. I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent. So yeah, we'll see.
It was weird. The rumor said that the car would be prepared at Hendrick, which I find that to be the craziest part of this whole rumor, because that seemingly is similar to the rumors or the supposed situation with the 71 car at the beginning of this year. Was the 71 car was a Spire car prepared by Trackhouse. Well, for the first 25 races of the season, that didn't seem to be true. So I don't know how much truth there is behind that. And also, Rodney goes to Spire and in his press release says, I'm here because this is my future and I want to build this team and hopefully one day be a higher up in this team, whatever. I don't see him doing that, running the team out of Hendrick Motorsports. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. But hopefully, if that rumor is true, I like it and I want some more of it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get into some racing, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, Watkins Glen this weekend. We start off with the Xfinity Series and the Connor Zilic 200. I'm sorry, the Mission 200 at the Glen.
There was one guy racing and then a bunch of other people that were just there.
Yeah. Handful of people starting in the rear, most notably probably Shane Van Gisbergen for some adjustments there, so he had to come from the back of the field. But yeah, Connor Zilic won the pole, as we mentioned earlier, and pretty much dominated the entirety of the first stage, taking the first stage in his first ever start.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had like a 7 or 8 second lead before everyone behind him
Before
pitted.
everybody pit? Yeah.
I mean, it was just, I liked how they broke it down on DBC. They were breaking down like TJ's day. TJ Major spotted for him in the 88. And he goes, all right, green flag, clear by 5, clear by 50, end of stage. Like that was his entire job.
Yep.
Because this kid, he is an insane talent on road courses.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So he gets to the end of the first stage, check flag. Not a whole lot to write home about in the second stage. William Byron was in this race, taking the checkered for the second stage. Third stage is when things get a little ugly.
I mean, real quick, we had 8 Cup drivers in this race.
Mm-hmm.
You had Byron, Gibbs, Chastain,
Logano.
Well, barely.
There were more. But Eric Jones was in it, I thought. Apparently it's Ed Jones.
Yeah.
But they put E. Jones as the name on the pylon.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like you could have just put a D there and just answered any questions anyone had about this.
Yep.
Because E. Jones does not answer this. Obviously, they did it because there's Brandon Jones and Ed Jones. But the E. Jones, and it was in a Toyota, made me think Eric Jones was in this race, but he was not.
Nope. So yeah, getting into the final stages when things got, we'll say, a little bit more hairy, if you will. Yeah, we get to start on the third stage is when things got a little ugly towards the beginning. Byron led inside alongside Ty Gibbs. Zilich gets around Willie B fairly early in there, but Allgaier and Mike Skeen get together in turn 6, end up in the gravel pit, and Allgaier gets stuck bringing a caution out. When that caution came out, Ty Gibbs decided to lead Sam Mayer and Connor Zilich through the inner loop instead of around it, sending them all to the back.
You got to be smarter than that. Like, you're Ty Gibbs and Sam Mayer. You've been doing this long enough. You can't just cut through. I feel bad for Zilich because he said it on DBC. He said monkey see, monkey do.
So
he
were
was
they
like,
following the pace car? Was the pace car in front of them at this point in time, or were they catching it?
I think they were catching it. I don't know.
Because if they were following the pace car, and the pace car...
No, pace car did not go through.
No. I think they were still catching the pace car at that point. And, yeah, I feel bad for Zilich because, again, it's his first time here in an Xfinity race, whatever. So he sees Ty Gibbs, who's a Cup driver, and Sam Mayer.
Right, Xfinity champion, Cup regular, leader of this race, cuts through it. And then you have Sam Mayer, who's now in his third full-time
Something
season.
like that, yeah.
Has a handful of wins in the Xfinity Series already, obviously, and I'm pretty sure at Watkins Glen last year.
Yes, he won last year, yeah.
So you're following two guys that know their way around Watkins.
He said on DBC that he actually started taking the corner and then was like, nah, they have to know what they're doing and followed them.
I don't want to look stupid.
He's saying, I don't want to look stupid, so he just kept going.
And meanwhile, Cole Custer is just like,
Nope.
idiots.
Nerds.
Yeah, you probably hear nerds out the window as he drove by.
Stupid.
Get a load of these guys.
Oh, that was just so... I was watching that. I'm like, what are they doing?
I had gotten up and missed this part, and I came back to Cole Custer leading. I was like, let's go.
Yeah, the greatest part
Please
about
elaborate,
switching
though.
the greatest part about switching to AT&T last year is I have service on the water. Enough service to stream races on the water.
Hell yeah.
Sitting in the sandbar in the sun, beer in the hand, race on the phone.
Oh.
It was phenomenal.
That's
That
like the
sounds
plus
fantastic.
side of
both
AT&T.
days. Both days.
I feel like Verizon has better coverage overall.
Wrong.
AT&T just hits those weird spots that you're just like, why would I have service here?
Why
Don't
I
know,
got
it's
rid
great.
of. That's why I got rid of Verizon because I had so many dead spots in places I needed to have service that I was
Yeah.
like, I'm done. And yeah,
That's where the fiance's at. She wants to get rid of Verizon. She wants
It's
me to add her to my plan
so much
because
better.
I have no problem at our house. We're right on the water, obviously. And when you get close to the water and a Verizon phone, it just shuts off.
yeah.
It's weird. So yeah, anyway, we get back to green after that. Handful of green flag stops start happening. SVG pits from the lead at 67, but ends up with a speeding penalty, which screws him, so he has to come through the field yet again. We get a handful of laps later. Matty D brings out a caution, ends up stopped after some mechanical issues, and brings out the caution. He stopped in the bus stop there.
Yes. Yeah. Just brought it to a stop.
Did you guys see NASCAR Chasms when that happened? He's like, whatever you do, don't take a camera off of this car. Last time this happened, it exploded.
I saw that video pop up last week. That's still crazy.
Oh, who was driving that?
Is that Cope?
Yeah, I think
Derek
you're right.
Cope, yeah.
Yeah.
Just pulls into the bus stop and the tire nukes itself.
Yeah. We get back to green after that. Ty Gibbs leading alongside, Zilich leading alongside Ty Gibbs. And then we have a nice little stack up there in turn 1. Tons of cars involved in that one. Austin Hill was in it. Anthony Alfredo, Willie B, Sammy Smith
Yeah, that was just a one car spun, I think, and then everyone just kind of
piled in.
stacked up and piled in.
There was fluid everywhere.
Well, then was it Alfredo decided to make a lap?
Yeah.
While pouring oil
That-
coolant
I was
something.
so mad about that.
I was too. I was so pissed about that.
they
And
used
then
more
did you
kitty
see-
litter than the BP oil spill.
Did you see the replay? I think I saw it on Twitter. I don't know if it was on TV of him like careening into the wall because
Yeah,
he was
'cause he
like
couldn't see.
because he couldn't see. You know, I don't know if he was in fluid or whatever, but like way down the track, he careens into the wall.
Stop, stop,
somehow.
He was going to enter the bus stop
Yeah.
and turned like 20 feet too early.
Yeah.
Supposedly he didn't have steering.
Oh.
But at that point, you wrecked in turn 1. Your hood is over your windshield and your steering isn't working.
Just stop.
Why are you trying to make it back to the pits?
Yeah, so that alone put us into what, a 25-minute red flag?
Yep, 22.
Just because they had to literally fucking kitty litter half the track.
And it wasn't on the broadcast, I guess, but we saw the cleanup after the fact. I guess the 27,
Yep.
Jeb Burton, while they were stopped at the entrance of turn 1 coming down the hill, his oil cooler just exploded.
Yeah, that was so. I think they showed it on TV, they were asking, Bagman was in that section, if I'm not mistaken, and he was like, hey, guys, there's fluid down here, and it just appeared out of nowhere. It was after the cars had pulled away, and yeah, Burton posted it was somebody else's in-car, the person behind him, and he was like, yeah, TV didn't show it, but our oil cooler exploded.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I saw when they were still parked, they were blow drying the track or like leaf blowing the track, blowing the kitty litter off. It happened, and they towed his car away while everyone was stopped.
Yeah.
So it was clearly missed, but that's just a crazy situation.
That's wild.
There.
Yep.
I don't know if it overheated or if he got damaged, ran over something, got debris in it, whatever. But it's just like, oh, great, a red flag, and now there's more cleanup.
Yeah. Yep.
200 feet away from where we're cleaning up already.
All right. So after the cleanup, we end up in our first overtime restart. Spoiler alert, there's more than one. Restart with Zilich and Sam Mayer. Ty Gibbs ends up out of fuel on the restart.
Oh, yeah, he bailed. He fucking bailed.
Yep. Brandon Jones ends up spinning in the inner loop, collecting Mike Skeen, bringing out a caution there.
I was at this point going,
Yeah,
not
here
this again.
we go. Second overtime restart to close things out. Thankfully, Connor Zilich alongside Sam Mayer. Zilich clears the field, obviously. No surprise there. Mayer ends up slowing. I think he ran out of fuel as well. Allgaier spun in the inner loop, bringing out a caution. I'm sorry, spins in the inner loop. Connor takes the white flag, and caution comes out certainly after Cole Custer goes for a spin and turns 7, 8 or something like that.
Yeah, so pretty much this entire final green flag run was some of the worst racing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, sorry, it was the stack up. It was the Brennan Poole. Who else I got it? Ryan Sieg, Austin Green. They got in the wreck. That's what brought out the caution on the white flag clap.
Yep.
It was just, I mean, Zilich obviously clears him. I think SVG was behind him. I don't know if he was what forced it 3 or 4 wide.
Literally,
but they were like 3 wide and just slamming into each other for a lap and a half.
Zilich was gone, and there was 5 cars battling for second place, and it was like a demo derby behind them. It was insane.
It was not a great optic. And the entire time I'm watching it, I'm just like, don't even, like, turn the camera off. Like, I don't want to see this. This just looks so bad.
It did, yeah.
And it looks even worse when you're not racing for the lead, and the leader is pulling away a second a lap because you guys are playing fucking let's pass the banana around. Like, it looks so bad.
We look like a monkey fucking a football. Sorry. Still one of my favorite lines.
That was
I
great.
got sponsors in the stands, and I'm kissing them in the ear. And what do? We look like a monkey fucking a football out there.
Best line ever.
I love that line. Everybody out.
What's that from?
Except you two.
Is that from Fast 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's from Deadpool 2.
Not as good as Deadpool 1.
Haven't seen either of them.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Wolverine one. Not as good as the regular Deadpool movies.
You're right. It's better. Go on.
Oh, wrong. Anyway, so Connor Zilich takes the checkered flag in his first career start in the Xfinity Series. So good for him.
So he leads every lap in the ARCA race, wins that.
Yep.
Gets the pole for the Xfinity race, wins stage 1, comes back from a stupid penalty, and wins his first Xfinity race.
Yep.
Talk about a Friday and Saturday for that boy.
Yeah.
And then did you see him on Sunday? He was trucking tires around for Trackhouse. I saw videos of him pushing the tire carts around through the pit road on Sunday.
Kids earning his keep.
But he said he did say, because he's on DBC, he said on Sunday he was getting, like, he said most of the Cup drivers came up to him like, dude, that was sick. Like,
yeah.
How awesome must that be for him?
Wild.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. So we'll go to Sunday.
The shit show at the Glen. I mean, the Go Bowling.
Go bowling at the Glen.
There was bowling.
Wow. Bowling for Kozlowski. Bowling for Brad. Wow. What a race, huh?
I thought.
Jesus.
So the Teardown talked about this earlier, or they disagreed on if this was a decent race or not. And I kind of see where Jeff was coming from. Jeff was like, it was kind of like tough to pass. Like, you couldn't really do anything. But like Bianchi said, for a next-gen road course race, this was probably the best one ever.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely up there.
We actually had strategy. There was different strategy. You know, it's how many road course races? They tried the no stages thing. How many road courses have we watched where it's one guy gets out front, the top 3 that think they can win pit before the stage ends. Everybody else pits at the stage end. Then they go to the next pit. It's like
Right.
just end the misery.
Yeah.
This was entertaining from start to finish.
Yeah. I mean, lap 1,
Start.
we have cars out.
Yeah.
Lap 1. Yeah. LaJoy and Kyle Busch get together going through the inner loop there. Kyle goes for a spin. Whole bunch of cars there. Big stack up. Brad gets a piece of it. Denny smashes into Kyle Busch.
Denny was pretty much clear of it, but he said Priest got him from behind and put him into the fence. So that started his day off poorly. Ryan Blaney got hit by nobody, but his steering broke.
Yeah.
Ryan Blaney just broke.
Slammed into by Brad Keselowski.
Did he? Oh, okay. Yeah. But still, it didn't look that bad, but he said his steering was jacked up, and then you get I don't know how I feel about what happened to Blaney. I feel kind of like he should have at least a chance to fix it, but they at least NASCAR showed consistency. Letter of the rule: if you're on the hook, you're gone. You're done.
Yep.
But like he said, it's if I got 4 flat tires and you had to tow me back, I'm allowed to fix it.
Like I understand why they do it, but in the next gen era, we no longer need a caution clock. We no longer need like the DVP.
Mm-hmm.
Like that stuff's gone. We don't need that anymore. Either the next gen car is broken or it's not.
Yeah, you can either fix it or you can't. That's
because these cars are so freaking robust now, and they're so, I say, easy to fix. They're so available to fix. You can just swap out parts. I don't think we need the DVP anymore. We're not having cars driving around with taped on quarter panels and
it's weird because they're robust, but they're also fragile.
Right, but the stuff that's fragile, you can
parts,
replace in 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that.
I don't like the DVP anymore. I don't like that. I understand why they had to tow him to the garage. If they tow him into his pit stall, his car's broken, it can't steer, he couldn't drive it back. You tow it to his pit stall, they drop it and drive away. His team looks at it for 2 minutes, goes, fuck yeah, we can't fix this.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have to come hook it back up and now tow it back to the garage. But if they tow it to the garage, his team looks at it and goes, oh yeah, we can fix that. Then give them 7 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, fix it in 7 minutes.
I thought it was dumb that they didn't, that they just, didn't even give him a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. They followed the rule. That's how the rule is written.
They did.
If you go on the hook, you get nothing.
Yeah.
Your day is done. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. There's nothing to argue. Like, Blaney was pissed, but there's nothing to argue. That's the rule. Your steering shattered. You can't drive it. You have 4 tires. You can't continue under your own power. You're done. Is it something that I think they should probably look at?
Yes.
Because of everything that you guys just said in terms of like being able to fix this car fairly easily for the most part. Like they have steering issues year 1. Mm-hmm. And they were swapping things out fairly quickly at Bristol.
Yeah. Guessing that's what broke on this. He said it broke the steering.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it sheared the bolt that holds the steering column to the steering rack.
Or something, yeah.
That is my guess.
Yeah.
Could it have broken the splines out of the steering rack? Yes. Could it have broken both tie rods simultaneously? Possibly. Who knows? Could it have broken both knuckles? I have no idea. But NASCAR saw that. His car seemingly doesn't have a scratch on it because he got pinched between 2 cars and then he couldn't steer anymore. And NASCAR goes, oh, yeah, that car's done.
Yeah.
Like that, you can't make that decision from the blimp.
I think they need to let the team at least look at it.
Yeah.
Like you said, tow it back to the stall. Don't even unhook it. Just let them look at it. If it's, we busted a front toe link, we can fix that. Drop it and drive away, put them on the 7-minute clock.
Yeah, agreed.
But if they pop the hood and go, oh, wow, this thing's fucked.
Yeah, but as it lies, as it's written right now, they did the right thing. There's no arguing it. Right. Yep. Do I think it's something that they should look at going into next season? Yeah, probably.
Will they? Probably not.
I mean, they might because they're doing all these
advances. But there's no debate here. That's the rule. Yeah.
Look at the hydraulic shocks they're putting in the rear ends now. So they could lift the back end of the car up so it gets less damage when they tow it back to the pits. This is something, like I said, I think they need to look at because the next-gen cars are so much different than the Gen 6s.
Yep.
The Gen 6s, you get in a wreck, it needs to get towed. That thing's fucking totaled.
Yep.
Frame's bent in half. All the wheels are pointing at the sky. That thing's gone. These next-gen cars are so sensitive in these weird little areas that it could be a 2-bolt fix and the thing's undrivable.
Yep.
So I think...
Tow link.
Plus, it's
2-bolt fix.
You give these guys 8.5 minutes rather than 7 minutes to fix something. Who's to say that thing doesn't go out there and compete? William Byron was on top of a car.
Yep.
Fell onto the ground, went out and finished the race.
Denny Hamlin hit everything but the pace car and finished like 16th or something.
So I understand that there is a rule set in place, but the rule, I feel like is for a crashed car. His car wasn't crashed, it was broken. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think, yes, they followed the rules, but should they change that? Yes.
I think there should be a parts failure clause. If there is a parts failure, you are allowed X amount of time
I think
to look
there
at
is
it.
because if you have to go to the garage and it's not crash related, there's no DVP clock or anything.
He was technically labeled as in the
That's
crash.
the thing. He was in a crash. So I don't know.
So-
But it sucks
there's
for
a
Blake.
difference. You look at Larson's
All
car.
right, we're gonna
last
beat it to a
week
pulp.
at
Let's keep
Atlanta.
moving.
Nope.
In that car, you look at it and go, oh, yeah, that car needed to get towed back because it was fucking totaled.
Yeah.
His Ryan Blaney's car gets towed back. You don't know what's broken with that
And
car.
the poor guy goes all the way up there for the weekend, qualifies, practice, gets a half a lap.
Done.
But I
Done.
will say, Freddie, one more thing on this. Freddie Kraft had an idea. At dirt tracks, there's a work area.
The work area.
I
yeah.
forget. There's a name for it.
The work area. That's literally what it is.
There's a place that you go to fix your car.
The work area.
NASCAR should it maybe impose something like that. That now, if that
The
car,
work area?
yeah, something like that. If that car is dead beyond repair, it's not on pit road in the way they have time to get it off.
Yeah,
away.
there's better ways to do it for sure.
Yeah.
But we'll keep moving here. All right, we get back to green on lap 5 or give or take, something like that. AJ Allmendinger seemingly shatters an axle or something, but drops through the field like a rock.
I thought he got tagged because I saw him spinning, and then no, he just had no. The axles just said,
Yeah.
"No,
Thing
I don't
was
want to do this
just
anymore."
turn
dancing.
one, it just darted in one direction.
Yeah, he said it felt like an axle broke, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
They
those are
showed his-
CV shafts now.
They showed
so.
his onboard, and it sounded like you're just spinning. So either it damaged the transaxle. He said it was more than an axle, so it was something
okay.
inside the transaxle, or the clutch.
Yep.
It's something in there because it sounded like the engine was spinning, the wheels were spinning, but something in the transaxle was spinning way faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the power wasn't getting transmitted to the tires equally or as much as it should.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just another check on the list of the
He said
year
it.
that AJ's having.
He said it in his poster or in his interview. He was like, "This is just something, another mark on this year."
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Wild.
it just makes you wonder, why is he going back to Cup?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, you're having no fun at Cup. Don't do it to yourself, AJ.
Yep.
We like you. Don't be mad.
Yeah. So SVG and Ross Chastain show carries on for the vast majority of the first stage. They both pit to short pit the stage, giving the checkered to Mr. Martin Truex Jr. on the first stage.
A very needed 10 points for that man.
Yep, absolutely.
Needed points for all three of those guys. I mean, Truex, Bowman, and Briscoe
Yes, yep.
were all, they were under a blanket. I forget who was the fourth place car,
Kyle will tell us.
but they were all under a blanket, and all of those guys needed the points. But this is the thing I hate about road course racing.
Yep.
Is it's so predictable. As these guys race for points in the stages, you're never going to see them again.
Yep.
Martin Truex Jr. takes the green and white checkered, followed by Alex Bowman, Chase Briscoe, Daniel Suarez, Austin Cindric, Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson, Eric Jones, and Daniel Hemrick getting points in that first stage.
So many playoff guys that hadn't had problems yet.
Yeah, the
Don't
one
worry,
that I,
gonna
the
change.
one that I questioned in all that is Larson. Like Cliff Daniels came over the radio and said, "No, we needed those 2 points so badly." But I just feel like for Kyle Larson, I would rather him get the points at the end of the race
Yeah.
than in the stage. 2 points isn't enough.
Yep.
That's not make or break. I mean, if it comes down to it and 2 points saves the season, I'll eat my words. But
Just like how SVG was going to finish 10th.
You're sacrificing so much at the end of the race that I just don't see 2 points being worth it in stage one to flip that strategy.
Yeah. So SVG and Ross Chastain out front yet again through the second stage, planning to short pit the stage until their teammate decides to change their minds.
I mean, we are.
His pit crew decided to change their minds for him.
No.
What?
No, their teammate did because with 3 to go in the stage, Daniel Suarez.
Two.
They were coming to 2 to go because pit road closes at 2 to go.
Yes,
they were.
because he had a wheel fall off.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
Yeah.
he did. There was a loose wheel. That's
Yeah,
what happened
Suarez
to Suarez.
had
I don't know if you
just
saw
pitted,
that.
and he had a loose wheel.
The wheel broke. It sheared.
Oh.
It still was
I
on the
saw
car.
I saw it as soon as they pitted. As when he pulled into pit road, I was like, that car looks really weird for just spinning out. And then they showed him jack it up, and the right rear tire is just flipping around.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they fucking almost lost the wheel. That's
It
why
did the
spun
old
out.
make a 1-piece wheel into a 2-piece wheel.
Yeah, they showed. I think Parker showed the wheel later in the race.
Yeah. So he spins, ends up in the gravel trap, brings out a caution literally 100 yards before the 1 and the 16 can get to pit road.
Which kind of bothers me
They held that caution for a while.
Yeah, it bothers me because like a lap prior, Brad Keselowski's uncontrolled tires just sitting there and they're holding it trying to get the cycle done.
Yep.
The only 2 cars that didn't complete the cycle are the 2 cars that they threw the caution 100 yards before they could have got to pit lane.
Got to pit road. Yeah.
They could have held that long enough to let them commit and be like, okay, now it's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wheel thing boiled me, dude.
That's
like,
so
I was
dumb.
pissed about that because we've talked about this in the past with the inconsistency with loose wheels. This is a closed off pit road, walls on both sides. That wheel is on the downhill,
Yep.
blind,
Yep.
and you're gonna let it go for a
Do you
lap
see
and a
Hemrick
half?
almost bury it?
Yeah.
Hemrick's going right at it and just barely
Dude, they
missed
hit
it
that
last
at
second
45 miles an hour. That's bouncing off the pit wall and ricocheting into the
after
fucking,
it totals the car's arrow.
The
Yeah.
second that wheel, which was on live TV, crossed the line out of the pit stall, should have been a yellow.
Yep.
They waited way too long to throw that, and then they still waited when Suarez spun. Oh, we'll see if he's going to get out of this. Well, he's got 3 tires,
He's got 3 wheels and he's
and only
buried in the
one
sand.
of them is spinning in the dirt.
Yeah.
Like
If you're going to hold it long enough to complete the cycle.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing, trying to complete the cycle and make it not affect the race, which I understand. But they made it affect the race by waiting until just 2 are hurt.
Yeah.
The 2 that have been leading the last 40 laps.
Yeah.
You know? But anyway, they end up staying out. Ross Chastain does take the green and white checkered for the second stage, followed by SVG, Joey Logano, Ty Gibbs, William Byron, their top 5, Harrison Burton, Chase Briscoe, Alex Bowman, Ryan Preece, and Denny Hamlin getting points in stage number 2.
Yeah, and Denny Hamlin had just gotten the lucky dog before this, I think, too.
I think he got the lucky dog, the caution before.
I don't know if it was the stage or not,
I don't remember.
but that caution,
Flipped everything
like
on
I
its
said,
ass.
should have been a lap before, but it fucked a lot of guys like Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, these guys that were looking to get stage points, and now the whole top 5 has to stay out again.
Yeah, so essentially instead of them, who stayed out? It was Chastain, SVG, Logano.
I'd say pretty much the whole top 5 down
Top
to
5
Byron.
all stayed out instead of pitting at the stage end. The thought process there was just nurse it along until you're in your fuel window to make it to the end instead of, because if you pit there, I think what did SVG's crew say? They were going to come out like 28th or something like that, and you're not getting that back.
No.
I mean, maybe because SVG was knifing through the field at the end of the race,
Yeah.
but it was so hard to pass. You can't bet on that. Come out 20. I mean, look at Larson got that penalty for going
The commitment violation, yeah.
the pit box violation, vehicle interference. That's the word. And he wasn't like ripping through the field. He was kind of stuck in the teens for that whole stretch.
Yeah, no one was
you know?
ripping. I don't think the tires had the effect they thought it would.
No.
Which I think everyone kind of first saw.
Well, every time they tell us the tire is going to be amazing and going to have all this fall off, it never does.
But
So,
it's always, it falls off great, but everyone falls off the same pace. I mean, look at, I think it was the beginning of stage 2 or maybe stage 3, where the 2 cars in the front stayed
that
out
was
on
3.
old tires.
That was 3.
What, they'd have 15 more laps on their tires,
had, like-
and it took another 15 for the guys behind them to finally have speed on.
Yeah. Yep.
So we get into the final stage there. We started off with the Denny Hamlin, Larson, Keselowski incident.
What? Yeah. 3 wide and the S's don't work.
No.
Never.
Yeah,
Never
Larson
has.
was
Never will.
being a straight menace before this.
Yeah.
Like
Larson was a weapon all day.
he was a favorite for this race. I mean, like I said in the Discord, it's my argument for the SVG thing was I didn't expect SVG to be as good as he was. But that being said, the 5 favorites of this race all sucked or were stuck in the back.
Yep.
Larson, I mean, he's won, 2 out of the last 3 races we've come here. Denny Hamlin won the last one. C. Bell, he's always in contention. Tyler Reddick, he's the road course ringer. William Byron won the last one we came here. Like, all the guys that should have been good here were not in the conversation at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it was a weird Watkins Glen race just because the racing wasn't weird, but the guys who were racing were weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, SVG, I felt like should have been an 8th place car because these guys are so good at this track, but the guys who are good here normally were nowhere near the front.
Yep.
We see C. Bell go for a spin off the nose of Austin Dillon trying to get to pit road.
That was a little
that
Austin Dillon being a terrorist.
Yeah,
That
but
was
but I don't want to
miscommunication.
give him the whole problem there because if you look at the replay, C. Bell is inside, seemingly committing to pit road, and then he kind of swings wide to take the turn. And when he comes back down, he's got Brad and Dylan.
I also don't think Dylan was going to give him the room after what he did coming into
Dylan
turn 6.
Was repeatedly just trying to shove his nose on his inside.
Yeah,
which whether he knew he was pitting or not, probably saw that as a weakness when he's trying to exploit it.
Because coming into turn 6, Bell basically put Dylan into the grass. He kind of cleared himself.
Like Bell, even into the entrance, was like trying to fade right to like, hey, like hand out the window, like I'm pitting. And Austin Dillon just kept putting his nose there. And then they come around the left-hander, and Bell goes as far right as he can, comes back onto the racing surface like you're supposed to, and Austin Dillon like puts 2 tires in the grass to get to his inside.
Yeah.
So Austin Dillon, whether he knew he was pitting or not, didn't give a fuck and thought Bell would just lay over for him because if he was expecting to pit, and Bell just decided, fuck it, you're going to stick your nose there, you're coming to pit road with me, but didn't work out.
Yeah. All right. After that, we see Corey LaJoie lead for a little bit there.
For like a lap.
Yeah.
I mean, they played the strategy perfectly for that team.
But they were up front for most of the day.
He was top 10 most of the day, and when he got the lead, I was fully expecting the Sparks fuck around to come out, because Sparks has done this to him before, where they stay out way too long expecting a caution, and then by the time it was earlier this year they did it too. He was leading for like, forget where it was, but he was leading for
I think it was like Nashville or something.
He was leading for like 20 laps, but then by the time he came in, it was like, okay, now you're in 30th.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So I was kind of expecting that. He was really only out front he stayed out long with, I forget who what was in front of him leading at the time. They pit. He stayed out one more lap. Then he came in, cycled back out to like 17th,
like
18th.
McDowell or something.
It was McDowell. Cycled back out to like 17th, 18th. And I mean, he was charging. I mean, he hung out in the top 15 most of the day and the top 10 for even longer.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we get towards the end of the race here as this all cycles through. We got Chris Buescher getting around Joey Logano for the lead. And then we see with, I don't know, probably 15 to go, 10 to go. What do we got? Yeah, probably 10 to go. Ish, whatever, doesn't matter. SVG gets around Joey Logano for second.
Well,
and then SVG tries to start reeling in Chris Buescher.
Before he got by Logano, they cut to his onboard and they said that he was a second faster than everybody else. He was ripping through the field.
Yeah.
Like absolutely just knifing through the field like we hadn't seen anybody be able to do all day. You were watching the interval, just chunks come out of it. And then
unbelievable.
And then he'd get to, I think, didn't Buescher have a hard time? Buescher had a hard time getting around somebody. I forget who it was. And SVG just passed him like he was standing still. I think it might have been, I don't know if it was Logano. I don't remember who it was. SVG just gets around him like he's standing still. He ends up passing Logano, and I think he had like 4 seconds to make up.
4.9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he was cutting into it. I don't know if he would have gotten there. I feel like the tires had started to equal out a little bit.
This is one of those situations where he really killed his tires to get to him, and by the time he got to him, they equaled out.
I think
he passed Logano like 4.9 seconds behind him, and I think he got to like 4.2.
He was down to like 4-ish, maybe touching the high 3s, but it wasn't coming out in chunks anymore. So I was like, I don't think he's going to get him. I think Buescher's got this one. And then the old scheduled Harrison Burton caution, which it wasn't his fault, but still a scheduled Harrison Burton caution.
Still the same thing.
Still the same thing.
Yep.
He blows a left rear, tries to nurse it around the track. He's spewing fucking tire chunks and debris everywhere. So they had to throw that caution, especially I think they held that one for a while because he wasn't really blowing shit everywhere until he got to like turn 6 and you saw that
he goes
giant chunk of tire come off and they're like, all right.
Hilariously, he goes by his dad, who is commentating for that section of the track, and Steve Letarte hands it to him. Jeff, I'm sorry to do this to you, but Harrison's passing you. There's debris everywhere. It's flying all over the place. Like, damn, Jeff, that's your son. Chill.
Yeah. I saw that. I heard that too.
Yep. So the annual Harrison Burton late race caution to completely change the race is still in effect.
That's got to be a bet on
For
DraftKings.
8 more, what is it, negative 1,000? Because it's a guarantee you don't get paid out. You have to donate $100 to make $1.
You have to pay DraftKings.
Yeah, it's just a zero. You just get your money
one
back.
Of those, like Super Bowl prop bets, like how long the anthem is, what color the Gatorade is, when will the Harrison Burton caution go out?
It shouldn't be if it's a win.
Yeah.
You just pick what lap the late Harrison Burton caution is.
How many laps to go will Harrison Burton?
The over under 10 laps to go.
Yeah.
Well, we only have 8 more races to worry about it.
Yep.
Sorry, you're fired. Not sorry at all.
I'm
Still
not.
don't forgive you for Phoenix. Anyway,
What happened in Phoenix? Was it a late race caution?
yeah, it was a late race caution.
Weird.
Thanks for that.
But nobody important was leading, right?
No, nobody important. Not in their final
The
season.
right guy won that race.
Yeah. Nobody in their final season was leading that race.
Chase Briscoe. Was that Chase Briscoe's win?
Yes.
No,
I thought so.
no, that was the year before.
Oh, you're right.
I hate you both. Anyway,
So it was just some old guy. Nobody cares.
yeah, we go. We get back to green after that. Chris Buescher and Carson Hocevar out front. SVG inside second row. Yeah. This is when we have the Keselowski and Byron incident.
Hold on. Before we get there, and this is for the next, I think the last 2 restarts, I think this one was included. Does Carson Hocevar not know the restart rules?
Yeah, pretty sure he doesn't.
I think it was this one. It's either
It's
this
a hill.
one.
They can't tell.
It's either this one or the next one. They were on board with SVG, who
I
is
think Freddie on DBC was saying it was both the final restarts.
so there was one restart where they were on the on board with SVG. They were on his roof cam, so you can see Buescher in front of him, Hocevar to his outside. Hocevar jumps, backs off, and then goes again. So it didn't look that bad because like they got to turn 1 side by side. But Hocevar fired first by 20 minutes. Like
Yeah, I think, and when he did that, SVG started burying the 17.
that's when he was he
because
hit,
it's like, yo, why aren't you going? The leader's going.
yeah.
Like,
I don't care if he gave it back technically, like
yeah, this is a Chase Elliott
To equate
fucking
that-
Martinsville tap the wall
yeah,
thing.
to equate that to like iRacing. I've noticed it before when you go on pit road and it's a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. Oops, I hit 37. Let me go down to 33 and give it back.
the average.
I'll average it out. Usually it works. I think Hocevar tried that. He like fired and then was like, whoop, backed off. And then he's like, I'm good.
And it worked.
It should have. He fucking fired first. It should not matter if he gave it back. That should have been a penalty.
Yeah.
On like both times.
Yeah, but after that restart, after we get through turn 1, we see Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano get together, coming out of 4, I think it was, sending Brad into William Byron, who ends up literally on top of him.
Yeah. So
This is going up the S.
This is going up the S's. This is a
uphill.
fast part of the track. And Brad and Joey were 2x2. And I think Byron sensed what was about to happen. So he's like, I'll just go on the outside of them. And then Brad snap overcorrected right into his way. I mean, that thing, all 4 tires were off the ground. I think Letarte said it best. Thank God there was the 3-layered Armco. Like it wasn't just like the short wall. Like it was actually a tall wall. It doesn't matter because Byron still almost went over it. Dude, he was all 4 tires up in the air. His right front is in Brad's window net. Like pushing against the window net. Brad probably could have taken a bite out of his splitter if he wanted to.
Yeah, the splitter was definitely
tire.
the window net. The window net was damaged.
Yeah,
there was like a strap hanging down.
Did you see the car?
The tire was in the back window.
Yeah, did you see
the back
that?
window was completely blown out.
Someone posted it in Discord today, the picture of the car at the shop, and it's like there is a gouge that is tire shaped, missing from the quarter panel under the B pillar.
Oh, yeah.
So that all started. Joey kind of got wide to get a good entrance into the S's, and I think he got a bunch of shit on his tires.
Yes.
Because if you watch the entire way up the S's, he's sideways.
Well, that's where we got our.
And he kind of just clears
He
himself.
drifted into Brad.
Yeah. And Brad's trying to sneak through, and he just hooks Brad just enough to just be William
Because isn't this where we got our Joey Logano frickin' on the radio because he was talking about how dirty the track is offline.
Right.
But I mean, this looked bad. It could have been worse if he got up because
100%.
I think there was a chain link fence up above the Armco. If Byron gets into that, that is going to cheese grate that fucking car.
Yeah.
And we don't know what it'll do to the car. We've never seen a next gen car hit the fence. How bad is it? How good is it? Like that's something we haven't luckily figured out yet. But we've seen the Gen 6s get up into the outside fence
and rip the whole motor out.
Shreds that car to pieces.
Which though that car wasn't 3-piece like this car is. This car's fucking.
So
this car's
who knows
bolted
what could
together.
have happened. Obviously, you're not going 200 miles an hour. But honestly, I was a little scared to see Brad pull out of that
Yeah.
because William Byron's up on top of him. We don't know what condition William Byron's in. He could be injured. Something could be wrong. He could hurt his back.
Yep.
And Brad pulls out from underneath him because you got to get out of there.
And the 24 just.
And the 24 just drops 4 feet onto the ground. It's like, like that was kind of scary to me. It's like almost like Brad's like, don't move. Like we need to like make sure everybody's okay before you move your car because you could hurt him worse than he is already.
I'm
hurt.
sure the spotters checked
But
in.
then Byron ends up driving it away. driving away from the wreck and continuing on in the race.
Yeah.
That car was in the air and hit the top of the fence,
Mm-hmm.
and he still fucking finished the race.
Hey, at least he got a good pretzel bite out of it. You know?
He did. He got all sorts of
I
pretzel
need
bites.
to try those. Have you guys tried those yet?
No.
King's Hawaiian pretzel bites?
No.
Anyone that's listening or watching on the YouTubes and has had them, give us a review in the chat right now. Because I'm really intrigued. That is perfect marketing, by the way, because I didn't know those existed, and now I'm going to actively look
It's
for them.
funny because I didn't know they existed, but we were in the grocery store the other day and I saw them. I was like, oh yeah.
I would have 100% bought them if I saw them.
Yeah.
I saw it, obviously, last time they ran it. I haven't been to the
I
grocery
think they
store
ran it
since
the
then.
last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I haven't been to the grocery store. Been busy, and that's not my job. And if I do, just come home with a bunch of junk, so I'm not really allowed to go. So
Well, you're making up for your childhood when you had to eat fucking leaves.
yeah.
Here's your dinner, son. It's a pine cone, some pine needles, and one maple leaf.
Yeah. Sounds
We put this
sounds
one
average.
grain of sugar in a Ziploc bag. You can look at it.
Is that how he ended
That's
up?
like, have you seen the videos of the people that like smell chocolate and then eat a salad?
Is that how he ended up smelling
me.
stuff out of
that
other
was
bags?
child as a child.
Of course, I'm talking about potpourri.
It's no sugar.
All right, I feel better now. Allergies are really
I'm
acting up.
awake for some reason.
Might be that 16-ounce Red Bull.
Are you a Red Bull athlete? That's not a 16 ounce. That's a big boy.
That's 16.
That's a 16, I thought.
No, that's 12.
Oh, that's a 12.
12er. The small one's
16
an
is
8.
like the normal size.
Yeah, I
It's the
wish
size
they
of like
made
a
these in
monster.
the bigger.
16 is not normal
No,
size.
it's like the
That's
size of like a
normal.
monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they made the flavored ones in that size because that's not enough.
I like the 8s.
I don't like the 8s. That's not enough. That's just a tease.
That's a 5-hour energy drink.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
lying to yourself if you say anything about that.
I usually get like 16 ounces or the Celsiuses in the morning, and if it's like late afternoon and I need it, I go small
The
Red.
greatest thing ever was the Red Bull minis that used to fart around in Boston.
Mini, the
Mini
car.
The
Cooper.
Mini
car.
Coopers
Yeah.
with the coolers in the
Those
back.
are still out and about. I'm pretty
And
sure
you
I
could just
passed one in Rhode Island.
when you
on
were
the way
in
here a couple
Boston,
weeks
you
ago.
could just walk up to them. They could be sitting in a traffic light. You walk up, open the side, grab a Red Bull. One day I walk up, open the thing. It wasn't even one of those. It was the next size up.
The 24.
Like someone fucked up and put the big one in there. I just reached in and grabbed. I was like, and I looked in. It was all the little ones. I was like, jackpot! I grabbed one of the big
That
ones.
was, like
Nice.
that was like the employee keeping their drink cold.
Probably. I think I stole
probably.
it from them. Yeah.
Like when we went to Loudon and somebody jacked that guy's monster.
Yeah.
Proud about that.
Kevin's.
Yeah, it was Kevin's.
Yeah, it was Kevin's. Yep.
All right. We'll get back to the restart after that when Mr. Kyle Larson becomes a weapon yet again with a big block on Todd Gilliland, sending him into Mr. Chase Elliott, into Josh Berry, and then Martin Truex gets involved, and then Tyler Reddick and
Josh
Kyle
Berry
Busch
in
get
this
involved.
race?
You missed a whole. Oh no, we did. We talked about that. Never mind. Sorry.
Nope,
I said
I didn't.
No, I forgot. We talked about the Denny backing into the fence, but that was Kyle Larson being a weapon. Part 1.
Yeah.
Yep. I said it when I think it was after the Harrison Burton in caution. I said I hope everyone's ready for Coda turn 1 because that's what it turned into.
Yeah.
We had 3 cautions in a row of them wrecking in somewhere between turn 1 and the bus stop.
The other ones are fine. This one should not have been a caution.
No.
Because everyone drove away. Kyle Busch, Reddick lazy spun in front of Kyle Busch and kind of came to a stop. I understand there was a few cars behind them, and that's why they threw the caution, but
Everybody drove away within 10 seconds.
yeah.
Within the incident happening to everybody rolling was about 10 seconds.
I was really pissed about this, and I'm yelling at the TV. I'm like, that shouldn't have been a caution. This is stupid. But when they panned back, there was cars that probably just didn't fire or were coming off a pit road or whatever, but there was 3 cars coming from behind them that would have came in
But
hot
I
if they didn't
still
see him.
don't think that's that big. It wasn't that egregious.
Yeah. I think if
track
Reddick
wasn't
hadn't been
blocked.
going hadn't been basically 90
Broadside.
degrees, they would have kept it going. But anyway, they threw the caution for that
I just
anyway,
think
forcing the
it's
overtime.
funny from Reddick's perspective because he just sends it on the outside. He's like, fuck yeah, I'm going to pass 12 cars here.
Whoa.
And then just and I'm spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forcing the overtime restart, in which we see Chris Buescher alongside Carson Hocevar again, SVG inside second row. SVG obviously takes the lead.
I will give
No
SVG credit,
surprise.
like we've talked about many times. He's learning the craft of NASCAR and how to be physical.
How to finesse it, though.
And I thought that was the perfect. He just gave Buescher one push, and it put Chris in too hot. Up the track he goes.
And it
SVG
wasn't-
goes around him.
But just a little bit.
It
Yeah,
wasn't,
he
and that's the
didn't-
thing.
He didn't just bury him into the corner, get him all fucked up, and then drive away. He literally like tapped him with his headlight.
Yeah.
And it was enough to push Busher up just on the curb
like a
awkwardly.
lane. And that's
SVG just scooched on by, man.
I think TJ said it on DBC. He did it right because Busher came out like a car behind him. It wasn't like
he's right there.
Absolutely washed him up, and now Busher comes out in 15th place. Like he moved him.
Yeah, he didn't give him the old Kyle Larson to Chase Elliott treatment.
I thought it was incredibly textbook how he did that, and he comes away with the lead, and he's
was perfect.
fucking driving away.
Yep.
And I'm hyped at this point. I was like, fuck yeah, we get to see Shane win again. I mean, I'm becoming...
I was hyped because Kyle was getting 1 point at that point in time, not 2.
I am becoming more and more of an SVG fan as I'm super excited for him to be full-time next year. Like, as time goes on, I'm really liking him more and more. How can you not like him? I mean, you saw
if you don't like him, you're just a hater.
you saw
I pretty much peaked. So now it's kind of like steadying out. But like I went from like 0 to 100 real quick with SVG.
Yeah. But like, you saw his post-race yesterday. Spoiler, he blew the race. He gets out all smiles. He's like, yeah, I blew it. That was driver error. But hey,
gutted.
that was fun. I'm gutted. He's gutted like 4 times.
But he smiled the entire time.
Exactly. So he's driving off into the sunset. We get the white flag. Busher's 2 cars behind him? Maybe 3, 2.5, 3 behind
Enough
him.
that he's hearing footsteps, but I don't think he can give him the bumper.
No.
It would be a stretch to do.
But it's like SVG did say, so going into the bus stop, he knew that was a hard braking zone. And I think he was a little, not worried, but he knew what he did on the restart. And he knew if he was going to get it back, it was going to be there. So SVG pushes it into the bus stop. And I originally thought he just missed it. According to replays, he did catch that inside wall. I mean, he kissed it. Like, he didn't hit it hard. He didn't Reddick it at Chicago. Like, he brushed the wall. But I think that combined with the new curbing there, it just got the car just out of shape enough.
Yep. Scrubbed just enough speed as well, I should say.
Yeah, he got the wall, and he got a little loose. So, like, that's the right. And then when he goes to take the left, the ass end steps out. He walks off the racing line a little bit. I mean, he recovered. He didn't lose it. But it gave Chris that opening that he needed.
And Chris admitted, he goes, I drove it in further right there than
did.
I have all day. He goes, but he drove it in even further than I did.
Yep.
So there would have been no chance if SVG got through there clean. I think, honestly, and it didn't even, like, it's not like it shot him to the left into the grass or anything like that. It was just he clipped it with, like, the right rear, so it just kicked the back of the car over.
It just,
because he hit the curb in the perfect spot in, like, the apex
second
of the corner.
turn, the second corner, yeah.
But it was just his back end was just kind of out of shape at that point that when he turned left, it, like you said, it just kicked the back end out and he scrubbed.
They go into the carousel. Chris gets a nose inside of SVG, and at that point, it's all over. I mean, SVG, clean racing. I think it was hard racing. SVG tried to pinch him, but it was too late. Chris was already there.
Well, they come to the second to last turn, whatever it was, and SVG got loose again. He probably had one more shot at him, but he cooked into that curb, and you saw him get loose one more time, and that was the end of it.
I don't know how he saved that car. That car was all but wrecked.
Dude, it was so...
Because he's a god
the movement
behind the
was
wheel.
So jerky.
Yeah, I thought he was going
it was
around.
Snapping.
Yep.
And he still saved it and just drove away.
Yeah.
I think I listened to Connor Zillich on DBC. I keep harping back to that, but he did such a great interview with those guys. But he was talking about the difference between him and he thinks most NASCAR drivers is NASCAR drivers at most tracks, it's as soon as you hit the apex of the corner, you're figuring out how to point your car straight and floor it. Mm-hmm. Like that's how you race. He goes, at road courses, you need to trust the tire to hit the gas before you can go straight. And he goes, and you can use the tire when you're arcing out of the corner to grip and accelerate you further than waiting for it to point straight.
The car will squat. And
so I'm guessing that's what SVG did, was he probably hammered the throttle when he was still turning.
He was still on the curb.
Which got him all out of shape.
He was all crossed up. But yeah, at that point, it was too late. Chris Busher sails off into the sunset. Kyle gets his 2 points.
Bullshit.
Yep.
I was like, fail that car.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yes. So Chris Busher takes the checkered flag after starting 24th all the way to first place. Shane Van Gisbergen finishes second after starting third. Norm, you're an idiot. Carson Hocevar brings it home third for his career best finish after starting 29th.
So that's 1. Keep going.
Ross Chastain brings it home fourth. Zane Smith in fifth.
That's 2.
Chase Briscoe, Michael McDowell, Corey LaJoy.
That's 3.
Ryan Preece and Austin Cindric, your top 10.
All 3 Spire cars in the top 10. First time that's ever happened.
And people are still talking shit on the internet.
Zane's-
People are like,
so-
this is Corey,
look, he's the
lowest
worst one."
one.
So
You're
you
an
get
idiot.
Top 5.
You get Hocevar with his best finish. I think Zane, top 5 for Zane is huge.
Yeah.
And
I think he
Corey
finished
now,
third at Michigan.
yeah, and now Corey with 2 top 10s at non-drafting tracks in the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're right. I've seen all that. I'm so fucking over it.
And a top 15 on the other one.
Yeah.
3 good weeks in a
thought-
row that he needed.
Looking at that top 10 and looking at the points right now, if I could go back 2 weeks and tell myself what the points would be leaving Watkins Glen, I'd probably be like, what?
Yeah,
Alex Bowman.
All right, let's run through it. Hold on.
okay.
Let's run through it officially. So, looking at the actual playoff bubble, Joey Logano is locked into the next round with the win. Christopher Bell, 46 up. Then
That's
we have,
pretty good.
yep, Seabell in second. Austin Cindric is sitting third.
Who fucking saw that coming?
Yeah, 43 to the good. Alex Bowman sitting fourth, 41 to the good. Daniel Suarez sitting P5, 36 up. We haven't even got to the favorites, if you will.
No.
Tyler Reddick sitting sixth. Your regular season champion
Your regular season
sitting
champion.
sixth. Chase Elliott in seventh. Ryan Blaney in eighth. Kyle Larson in ninth.
Remember the guy that started the playoffs with a 40-point lead?
Yep, is only 26 to the good. William Byron in 10th, 25 to the good. And then we get to the people in questionable, ish range. Chase Briscoe sitting 11th, 6 points up.
But but Chase Briscoe coming into this was what,
21.
21 points out?
Yeah,
Massive day for him.
huge. Ty Gibbs also 6 points to the good in 12th place. Now we have the cutoff line. Below the cutoff line, we're looking at Denny Hamlin, 6 points below.
All out.
Brad Keselowski, 12 points below. Martin Truex Jr., 14 below. And Harrison Burton, 20 points below the cut line.
Out of when we started the playoffs, what was everybody's bottom 4 for the most part? It was Cindric.
Third, fourth, fifth, and 12th in points.
Yeah. You had, most people said who's going to be knocked out? Cindric, Suarez, Burton,
And Bowman.
And Bowman or Briscoe.
Yeah.
Like fucking interchange those two.
Yeah.
You got Cindric's in third place, pretty much. He could cruise through Bristol and make the next round. I mean, he doesn't have to go do anything.
Yeah.
He just has to have a solid day. And
Cindric
not get
just
in
needs
any
to
trouble.
finish.
After stage 1, Bowman was technically the points leader minus Joey Logano, who's locked into the next round.
Yeah. Like, this has been, you know what? Call it chaos all you want. This first round has been insane, and it is delivered. And
I'm so mad that they're taking the Glen out.
I think the Glen needs to be a playoff track from here on out. Put Charlotte back to Charlotte and make Watkins Glen the fucking road
I mean,
course.
honestly, you call it chaos, but that was probably the cleanest Atlanta race we've ever seen.
Atlanta
And
didn't do what we
Watkins
thought it was
Glen,
going to do.
All the playoff guys that had bad days are because they qualified bad.
They qualified bad.
Yeah,
Put
'cause they
themselves-
suck. It's their own fault.
Put themselves in
Denny
bad positions.
Hamlin, Chase Elliott,
Blaney.
Kyle Larson, Byron. None of these guys qualified great. I mean, Byron started 12th.
You know who really hates... I'm sorry, keep going.
But like all these guys that are like, oh, it's wild card races. This is bullshit. It's because you put yourself in that position. I mean, Denny Hamlin, we don't even want to talk about his Atlanta race, but it's these guys are just that are getting the points are just racing normal races. It's not like Austin Cindric, Alex Bowman, Suarez. They just put together 2 really good races and gained a bunch of points because these other guys were either playing it safe or are thinking it's a wild card, so they're not even going to try, or just ran poorly.
You know who's shitting their pants right now is Toyota.
Oh, big time.
Remember that time we cost Denny a lot? He's about to get eliminated if he doesn't show up to Bristol and win.
Who
Or,
do they
well,
got?
doesn't to win, but
Who were their bullets in the playoffs? Reddick's in 6th. I mean, he's pretty safe, but
it's okay.
it's a bad day. He's not doing good.
Right, but Joe Gibbs is your flagship team.
You got
And
Ty-
3 out of your 4 guys are below the cut line right
Ty Gibbs is at the cutoff line, not safe at all. And Hamlin and Truex are below it.
now. Yeah.
Like, they are one, and you're going to Bristol. You can't just ride around at Bristol. Bristol is, if you have to go to Bristol, and I mean, outside of Denny, who is really good there, he could qualify in the pole and lead fucking 400 laps there. It could happen.
Right.
But the fact that you have to go to Bristol, look at what happened to Logano last year. He was just riding and got caught up in somebody else's shit. Boom, you're out of the playoffs.
Right.
So that's scary.
It's
These-
gonna
these
be
guys.
a lot.
I am so angry that I have a wedding Saturday night.
Oh yeah, because it's Saturday. I forgot.
Livid.
Saturday.
I realized that yesterday that it's Saturday night and I have to be at a wedding. So I told Steph, I was like, come around 7 o'clock. I'm gonna be at the table on my phone. Whoop. See you later. That's why I can't go to your shower,
Yeah, that's right.
because we have that wedding we have to go to.
Yeah, it's fine. I didn't need to. It's no big deal. I get it.
I'd rather be at the shower. 'Cause it's, I mean, it's going to be a good time. It's her,
You're showering with Kyle.
it's her cousin's wedding, but
Again, yeah.
I get to hang out with the drunk firefighter uncle.
Oh, nice. Drunkle?
He's the one that his retirement party, I had to drag him through his own driveway because he was
Because he was out.
our entire relationship. He always said when we were younger, his whole thing was, if you break her heart, I'll fucking kill you.
Fair.
He's blackout drunk. I'm dragging him through his driveway, and he goes, "You break her heart, I'll fucking kill you." Like, he couldn't, but he still did it.
But will you?
But will he? No, not anymore. He won't.
Dog,
anymore.
we're 20 years in. It's
Yeah, he won't anymore.
I think we're good now.
Yep. But yeah, I'm very not happy because, like I said, there's only a few of those Saturday night relax on the couch with the windows open kind of races, and I have to miss one.
Yep.
Pissed.
Big pissed. All right. Now it's time for some questions. If you are...
Hold on. Since we're still in race stuff, we haven't got to questions yet. I wanted to massively shout out. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's NBC. I don't know if they're using their surroundings well. Watkins Glen is still the king of camera angles.
Oh, it's beautiful.
God, yeah.
So we knew about the zip line. We've had the zip line for a couple years. That is the best camera in NASCAR. I do not fight me over it. I don't even care. There is not a better camera angle in NASCAR than that 100-mile-an-hour zip line
And I
running
feel like
down the
Watkins
backstretch.
Glen put in more effort this year than the past. Like, they painted all the curbs.
Yeah.
Like, the track looked light years better than it has in the past.
That new camera on the entry to the bus stop on the inside, insane.
Yeah.
That camera was sick. The zip line, every freaking camera angle at this place is beautiful. It
And
reminds.
just their scenic shots of the track and the surrounding areas of New York and stuff like that.
I mean, I've been there.
Like, the video quality was so good.
I've been there, and it is in a beautiful part of the country, and I really, really want to drag the camper there, but it sucked driving a car there.
Yeah.
I mean, it is farther away than Pocono and twice as hilly. But that being said, the shots of the campgrounds, the people with all their scaffoldings up. I mean, that bus stop.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That bus stop bus. I want to be friends
Yeah,
with those guys.
the bus stop
Did
in the
you
bus stop.
Did you see them during the Xfinity race with the sign?
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, we have prime rib tonight. Swing by.
Nice.
As the zipline camera goes by, and
There
they're
was
like holding it up to the
during
zipline
the race,
camera.
I guess, like, Diffie left. And supposedly he's like, you're going to see me at the bus stop.
No, that was during practice. They showed the bus stop, and they were like, Diff, you have to go there. If we find out that you didn't go there, you're in trouble tomorrow. And he didn't. But apparently he went a bunch of other places and stuff. That area looks incredible, and I want to camp there, but I feel like all the good spots are probably taken.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all the spots you can watch from your camper or on some scaffolding, those are the people that renew every fucking year, and I feel like we'd end up going there and have a shit spot. But
Right, you're 6 miles into the woods.
it still looks unbelievable.
For sure.
And also on the Lee Diffie subject, I know he's had like 3 out of 4 banger races, but he don't miss.
No.
That fucking call yesterday on the final lap, he's talking about how he's calling back to the 2012 Ambrose Keselowski finish and how Brad Keselowski owns the car doing the chasing, and he's chasing the man from New Zealand whose mentor is Marcus Ambrose, and at that moment is when SVG misses the bus stop. And Chris shoves his nose in there, and he just seamlessly shades of Keselowski Ambrose. It gave me chills. It was
Nailed it.
Fucking believable. If
Like,
you don't
we all-
like him, he is on the same vein as SVG. If you don't like him, it's just because you're a fucking hater.
Like, we all saw it, and the speed he puts stuff together. Like, we all saw that, and we can be like, oh, that is Marcus
Yep.
Ambrose Jr. pretty much, and the car owned by Brad Keselowski. That's cool, but Lee Diffie, it's like the drop of a pin can
Yep.
go, oh, and boom, and then just seamlessly put it out. Like they said after, was Atlanta his first race?
No, Daytona.
Daytona, it's like it's pre-recorded for him.
No, it's like
the
he
speed,
watched.
Yeah, the speed.
It's like
he can
he's
say it.
watched the race already and then can tell us what happened poetically. He's just, if you don't like him, I saw the best thing ever. I saw there was somebody put the tweet in Discord today. Someone had a reply to something. The person that doesn't like Lee Diffie is the same person that likes Ward Burton or sounds like Ward Burton.
Yep.
Like,
I saw that.
I can't understand him, says the guy that sounds like Ward Burton.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't fucking like him, just get fucked. Like, you're just a fucking hater.
Yeah.
He's
Exactly.
unbelievable. He makes every moment sound important. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He makes the smallest moment sound important.
That's why they hire him for all of the most massive things on the planet.
Yep.
Like, I don't
Such
know,
a huge
the
win
Olympics.
that
Indy
we get
500.
him for half the NASCAR season right
Yeah,
now.
I want him. I want him to do Daytona 500.
Men's track and field in the Olympics is like the most watched thing on the planet.
Yeah.
And
Guess who does it?
Lee Diffie.
Yeah.
All right,
The Indy 500
let's answer
is-
some questions here. We will go to the Instagram first. If you are on the YouTubes, feel free to fire some in the chat.
Yeah. If we haven't had a the live has been dead for like an hour. So if anyone's still
We
alive
haven't
in
had
there,
a comment since the Xfinity breakdown.
yeah. If anyone is live in there, throw some questions at us.
Yeah.
If anyone, this is a wellness check on all 10 of you.
All right, we will start with It's Mr. DJ23. What is one thing that should be banned from racetracks but will probably show up anyway?
Kicking people in the face.
Yeah, idiots.
Denny Hamlin fans.
Political shit.
Four Locos.
Tents only selling political shit that try to deport Ronan.
I like that. Yeah. Political statements.
Yeah.
Um,
And that goes both ways, by the way. Both sides. Fuck you. I don't want to see your shit. I want to come to the racetrack to escape real world shit.
right. Cole C52. How the fuck did Carson not get a penalty? Talked about that.
Cole has been on that train. He was in Discord yesterday, like even 20 minutes after the race. He was like,
Well,
how the fuck did he not get penalized?
Let's talk about freaking qualifying. Carson Hocevar just drives into the boot qualifying and then backs up into the track and sits there.
He had some sort of problem in qualifying, drives off into the boot, the unused
You
section.
do questions. I'm going to pee my pants.
Didn't you already go once?
Just go, man. Just go.
You got the superior hydration body armor.
You should have wore the underwear armor, dude.
Gonna get Kyle. It depends. He's turning into John Stairs over here. Qualifying. Hocevar had some sort of issue, and for those that don't know the Watkins Glen actual layout, where they do the carousel,
Which they did in NASCAR like once, right?
they've never done the boot.
I thought they did it a couple
Basically,
years
the
ago.
reason that they say they don't do it is because they have camping down there in the boot, like inside the boot.
Yeah.
And it would also mean, I saw somebody say this, some official said this, it would mean less laps, so less times that the cars would go by each place.
Yeah.
So they said
It makes sense.
And
plus,
it's not a great...
You're going to add 15 minutes to a yellow flag lap.
Yeah. So the boot is you go into the carousel, and instead of taking that long carousel, you basically shoot straight off, and you go into a literal part of the track that looks like a boot from above. Carson, like, I don't know what the fuck happened there. He never even said.
And just, like, instead of spinning it or forcing it on exit, he just kind of went straight.
Which he
to
did the
save
right
it.
thing. And he's sitting there for a minute. Qualifying's
But he
coming to
did
an
the right
end.
thing with 2 minutes left in qualifying that he could have just waited for 2 minutes.
So he sits there. Everyone's going by. And all of a sudden, the camera cuts away to follow somebody's lap. And then it cuts back. Hocevar has backed up and is parked on the exit of the carousel, waiting to pull into traffic while everybody's screaming by and overcutting the corner right where he is.
Like, I get it. Like, he didn't do that until technically the qualifying timer ran out.
But people were still on
But
hot laps.
you have like a good minute and a half after the qualifying timer runs out before you make it to Carson Hocevar.
Mm-hmm.
If you cross the line with 1 second left, what's that?
You're
a
on a
minute
hot lap.
and 15 seconds until you're back there again?
Yeah.
So,
and
I
you
mean-
could see it. I think Joe Spinelli pointed it out. Suarez was in the green until he got to the carousel.
Yeah.
Did he miss the carousel?
Ty Gibbs
Maybe.
as well.
Did they miss the corner? Maybe. Did they see a car sitting on the exit of the corner and go, whoa, and and lift off for a hair and lose 4/10? Maybe. I thought that was, even Letarte was pissed. Letarte was like, someone from NASCAR needs to sit him down and talk to him. That was a stupid move. Like, he was pissed.
Yeah.
So,
All right, Cole C again. Why does Corey LaJoy unload with speed now of all times?
yeah, what the fuck?
Hey, I'll take it.
Whatever. It's going to help him get in that
He needs
Rick
it.
Ware car.
L98 Jake with a couple. Forgot they don't run diffusers at the road courses. Thought KB just got hit so hard it came off.
Oh, yeah, they don't, do they?
Nope, they do
I forgot
not.
about that.
Would you ever like to see NASCAR ever adopt the boot, or is Carson just dreaming?
So, like, while I was gone, I actually read something about it. I already, obviously, if you're listening to this, you already heard this, but Kyle didn't. The reason they don't run the boot is because there's camping in there, number one. And two, they've said that they would take laps away. They would have less laps. And that means less times the cars would go by the people that are camping in the other parts of the track.
Right.
That's just kind of their thing. They have camping down there, which I camped in the boot for the 6-hour race one time because they used the boot. That was sick. It was cool over there. But yeah, like Norm said, it would just add another 15 minutes to caution laps, and they don't need to. I love Watkins Glen for the fact that it is like a short track. Like, it's not a super
Plus,
long.
the carousel is probably one of the coolest turns
It
in the
is.
entire track. And with the boot, you take away half of it.
Take away most of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Coda. Coda's so long. Being there in person, it was like, especially on restarts, it's like, okay, they go by, and now we can have a 2-minute conversation, and here they come again. Where I feel like Watkins Glen, they were able. It's like a short track. It's high speed and it's quick.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
I like that. I don't think they need to.
I like the
add
setup
to
they
it.
have. Yeah.
I've always said they should run the boot, but I think the older I get, the more I enjoy the NASCAR layout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'm loving Lee Diffie's nicknames he's throwing out. He called SVG Gizzy
Dude,
one.
Gizzy.
Yeah,
I
Gizzy
I
was
feel like
great.
I've heard that before, and everyone was like freaking out
I
about
feel like
it.
they're boys.
I may have heard that before, but I have not heard it from Lee Diffie. And what he say? And he goes, Gizzy goes to the inside. I was like, oh my God, that's so good.
Great. I like
And then
that.
somebody said that's what we're having at Pocono next year is Gizzy Glizzies.
Gizzy Glizzies.
I interpret it as literally just holding a hot dog upside down and eating it.
How do we have those? Do we have to get like WeatherTech hot dog holders?
I don't know. You would know.
No, you have to
the
get hot
entire
dog
catalog in your
You
truck.
have to- Yeah.
I'm a big WeatherTech guy.
I saw that. You have to get hot dogs made from koala.
Koala dogs. All right, Jet Daly with the pair. First one.
Kangaroo dogs.
God
You just
damn
leave
it,
them in a
Daniel.
pouch.
Yeah, he's still mad at me from last week, and he said that my curse last week has carried over to this week, which I guess technically Ryan Blaney never completed a lap of this race, so in theory it could still be counted as last week.
I suppose, yeah. He also said at least Denny is almost all out.
Almost. Like I said, either
Yeah,
my,
but it's also Bristol, and it's Denny at Bristol.
my
so.
curse is either going to get me 2 points or it's going to curse Denny Hamlin out of the playoffs. Either way, I win. Like I said, he's probably going to finish like 10th and not get me the win and get through the next round
Kyle
because
Busch is
that
gonna
would be
win.
the perfect amount of my curse.
Yeah, it would be. He also says check your texts.
Who?
Jet Daly.
Jennifer.
Oh, hey, Jet. He said he's never been happier that his TV is broken on one side, and it's the side that I'm on.
That's awesome.
Did he throw his TV in the lake?
No, his TV's been broken for a while, and I thought...
Oh, they just can't get TVs in Canada.
Yeah, Canada's a weird country. They don't make TVs or anything.
All right, next one. I think
Like,
it's
watch nature.
Huey, Huey,
Huey Lewis in the news?
maybe. Huey 860. Going to my first Cup race, ironically at the Roval. Any first timer tips? Well, we are also first timers going to the Roval,
So I don't know.
so we don't know.
But for
We'll
races
see you there.
in general, I think if we go races in general, we've talked about
Yeah.
this before. Make sure to leave time to hit all the merch tents or merch trailers, even if you don't buy anything.
Get there early to check it out.
Go down there, check it out. You will find something you want to buy.
I will recommend going Saturday to the Xfinity race, even if you just use that as your chance to run through the merch stuff. Like that's
Facts.
what we do.
We never go on Sunday. We always go. Well, we do like when we bring people when we're at Loudon.
Yeah.
But come Sunday, we don't. It's race only. We don't really fuck around with anything else
Yeah.
outside of food.
Yeah. Get there early. Sunscreen, usually important.
Sunscreen, if you have access or can rent them. Scanners,
For sure.
100%. Make sure I don't even know the rules at the Roval. I would assume it's an SMI track, so I would assume. But bring a cooler, bring snacks, beverages, libations, get lubed up.
Yeah.
What else is there?
That's the
Anything
important
else? That's
stuff.
pretty much it. I mean,
Yeah.
I did get
Scanners are a must, in my opinion.
It's a NASCAR race, so bring a poncho.
Speaking of the haulers, so I'm in that Corey LaJoy group on Facebook that helped me get Levi his car.
Yeah.
They were some
Yeah,
guy.
how can he still be mad at you, by the way?
He hates me for some reason. I don't know why. It's okay though. I love him. I love all of you, especially Levi. Some guy there was a Corey did a signing at the Classics hauler this weekend, and some guy put a bunch of pictures up. Our boy just hanging out right in the back. He's like, there he is. Yo, we get to see him one more time this year. I just thought about that.
Hell yeah. We got to coordinate with him on the
He
show.
probably lives down there. We should be like, yo, bring us out somewhere.
Yeah. Where should we go?
Let's hang out outside of the track because he's the fucking man.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we're in Charlotte.
Bring us to your house. I want to have your wife make us.
Are we going to Big Al's or anything like that?
You probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we're obligated to. Yeah. All right. Tyler, 2 wheels. Is Mark Andretti going to drive the 48 big machine?
Maybe next year.
Good for him. I hope he gets that ride.
Oh, man. All right. Sam Valley 95 with a pair. Who do you think is going to be in the final 4?
Austin Cindric at this point? I don't fucking know.
Joey Logano, Alex Bowman, Austin Cindric, and Daniel Suarez.
I honestly, I think I said it yesterday in Discord. I see Briscoe going deep.
Yeah.
They have that, like, they've been running really good. They kind of have that like fuck it, we don't have a job next year kind of attitude.
Yeah,
not to mention
which is kind of dangerous.
All four of they're going to have the best people on all four of those teams working on the 14.
Yeah,
You know?
The best
Last
people
chance.
that are still there.
I think a lot of
It
people.
was only like a month or two ago. We were like, are they even going to have cars for the playoffs?
Yeah, but I think
Now,
now
we're rooting
that
for them to make it to the final
well, but
four.
like he said, I think where was his interview? I think it was at Junior's podcast when he won Darlington. I forget what it was, but he said that them making the playoffs is making people stay.
Right.
Because if they didn't make the playoffs, there was going to be a lot of people that were like, 10 more weeks of this shit, see you later. But now they have a reason to
right,
fight.
and the whole organization is picking it up. I mean, fucking Ryan Priest got a top 10 at a
Yep.
road course.
Yep.
Noah Gregson qualified, what, 9th?
Something like
Finished
that.
11th.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're honestly,
I think the
entire
14
team is stepping
I don't
up.
think the 14 is going to win the championship, but I wouldn't be shocked to see him in the round of 8.
Yeah.
Like, I see him on a really good trajectory. I think the Cindrics and the Suarez's are probably going to flame out. I mean, like, Cindric, this fucking first round lined up perfectly for him. He's a really good road racer, and he's a really good drafter.
Yeah,
You get 2 races right back to back like that, you're going to stack some points.
for sure.
I think he's going to flame out, but I have fucking Final Four. Who knows, dude?
Yeah, not even gonna
This
guess.
playoffs has been so flipped on its ass already.
Like the the entire lineup like looks like it's upside down, like for the most part.
The people that I expected to be below the cut line are solidly above it.
Yeah,
And what the
Yeah,
fuck?
it's just, unfortunately, with this playoffs is after Bristol, the points reset again.
Yep.
And Kyle Larson's going to go back to having a 40-point lead, and it's like the first round never happened.
I don't.
yeah. Cindric being third, and Truex being second to last. You would probably think that to be flipped.
Yeah.
But who knows? We'll find out. But Sam Valley 95 with the next one asks, Dan, have you been to Bristol? If so, tell us about it. Bristol is my favorite track. Clearly you don't listen because Dan has told us many times about his trip to
Yeah,
Bristol.
I went to Bristol 2003, so I don't remember a ton about it because I was
you were
like
what, 35?
13. Fuck you. I was like 13 at that point. But it was amazing. I know they were talking about it on the broadcast this week because Diffie's never been there. And Letarte was like, just wait, the first time you drive over that mountain and you see it sitting up there, and I remember that. It's cool as hell because you're in the middle of nowhere and you just like turn a corner and you're like, what the fuck is that over there? Just this giant monstrosity in the
As a
middle of nowhere.
comparison, though, could you imagine it now with the passenger exit exhausts?
It was fucking loud when I was there. Like,
I mean, that being said, the other side of the track isn't far away, so
yeah,
it's not like the exhaust makes a huge
that
difference.
That was the one thing about that place when they got strung out. Like, we've been to races where you get the conveyor belt.
Yeah,
Happens at
Loudon.
Loudon every year. You get the conveyor belt. Amplify it by about 10 at Bristol, and it happens like that. In 15 laps, it is just nothing but noise. Actually lulled my mother to sleep. My mother has fallen asleep at Bristol and during F1 at Indianapolis in the screaming V10 days, not the
Nice.
not the vacuum cleaners now, the really, really loud ear-piercing ones. Yeah. Like, it lulls you. Like, it's just this constant conveyor belt of noise. But the place is really cool. I was there 20 years ago, so I can't even imagine what it's like now.
Oh, I bet.
You know what I mean?
Levi said he's going in the chat. First time, full weekend.
Oh, are you? Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome.
That's good news for Dan, because I think he said that Denny Hamlin has won every race he's been to this year.
I don't think so.
I thought he said that.
He didn't. Oh, he did win Richmond. When else? He went to the second Richmond. Who won second Richmond? Not Denny.
I don't remember. That was so long ago.
Yeah, I don't know. But and it's also good because that means Levi will be farther away when Denny ends up crashing because I picked him.
That was Austin Dillon.
Oh, the Dylan
that was the
shit
Dillon
show. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Denny almost won that one.
yeah, it's true. And that's all I have for the Instagram. Anything in the chat?
Nothing.
No. I think I'm alive from Levi.
Is it Mr. DJ actually posted a question in the slew of nonsense in our YouTube chat? Is it best to buy a radio scanner or rent one until you find the one you like?
You can only rent one style. That's the racing electronics one that Kyle has, that a couple of our listeners have. That is probably the best one with the auto updating, and you get to the track, you hit the button, and it auto finds the frequencies.
As long as you get the updated
As
ones,
long as you don't
Kyle?
get the bad batch.
I got screwed with the bad batch, and then I got a replacement with another one from the bad batch. So I had a hell of a time with the racing electronics ones, but I will still to this day sing their praises because I got hosed. I was like 2 weeks out of my warranty when they gave me the first replacement.
Coda.
They hooked us up at Coda. They took good care of me. They were so nice. The people were great. They gave me another bad one by probably accident. And then when we were at Pocono, they gave me yet another one
And
that was
extended
like
your warranty.
and pushed out the warranty. They doubled the warranty because of my
Fuck up.
because they screwed up. And that thing is awesome.
Yeah,
Now that I have the right one, you, like Dan said, you get to the track day of, push the button, it reprograms every single one of them. So if there's someone in there that's doing a one-off, Juan Pablo's there for by chance, they will update the scanner to read Juan Pablo number 50. You just you hit the car button, you type the number you want, boom, done. It's super convenient.
I will probably be updating mine here soon because mine is old and only 20 channels, and it kind of sucks, which I don't care. I usually only listen to the radio anyway, but it's getting... I mean, mine's fucking 30 years old at this point. So the old, like, Uniden scanners do work really well, but it's just the Racing Electronics one is foolproof. It's so, and it's a lot smaller. And
you have the support of they're at the track every single damn time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I
remember at Coda, mine ran out of batteries, and they gave me batteries even though I didn't rent a scanner from them.
That's right. Yeah.
I walked over there and I was like, "Hey, you guys happen to have batteries?" And they're like, "We only have like the little one. Yours takes the Race Electronic ones takes AAA." And I'm like, "I need AA." And the guy's like, "Hold on." And he's like digging through a junk drawer and he's like, "I got some right here." And I'm like, "What do I owe you?" I don't care. I'm like, "Oh,
sick.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Thanks."
they're
man.
the best. So I would recommend just investing in it. I mean, it's something you're going to keep for a long time, I would assume.
Put it this way: I've had mine, like I said, for damn near 30. I mean, I've had mine probably 25 years.
Yeah.
I bought mine when I was a kid. You know, like after I stopped going to races with my dad because like he had his and then I got mine.
Yeah.
It's an investment that you will use forever.
Yep. Keep mine in the clear backpack, and I look forward to using it every time.
Same.
Kyle
Just take the
mentioned-
batteries out of it after you leave the track.
I don't do that because I'm
We
stupid.
didn't talk about it much, but Juan Pablo Montoya was in
yeah.
the race. He just had a quiet, just conservative race. I think he had a pretty good finish.
No, he finished like 32nd.
Did he? I
Yeah.
thought he finished up.
He had a bunch
No,
of
they
flat
had an
tire
issue. They had a
and
flat. Yeah.
He had a couple
Too bad.
issues.
He
that
did say, I saw a little video that it was the most comfortable he's ever been in a cup car.
He was giving Reddick shit. He's like, I thought you said these things were hot. He's like, that's the coolest I've ever been in a cup car. And Reddick was like, what? Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
Before your time, youngin.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you got Daytona. He was on fire, so.
True. No,
But that being said, Juan Pablo Montoya had nothing but nice things to say after, so hopefully that means maybe we'll see him again.
I hope so.
Because Juan Pablo Montoya, he's one of those personalities that it's just like, keep a camera on this guy.
Yep.
He's awesome.
He's the
He's
best.
so cool.
Yeah, stoked to see him out there. I wish that they didn't have those issues because he was running well. He was running
There was-
mid-teens.
Probably a reason why we didn't see Kevin Harvick poking around the garages at all. He stayed home this weekend.
I saw that clip pop up. You know, NASCAR every week
yeah.
they post the old clips. That clip of them going at it was great.
Yeah, in the big red car.
Also, underrated Watkins Glen highlight because obviously, you know, the big like the David Ruderman crash and all that always get
The
posted.
Jimmy Johnson one.
The Jimmy Johnson one. Underrated one that I always forget about is the drunk fan trying to get Matt Kenseth autograph.
Yeah.
I think he
fucking-
did get Matt Kenseth
I think he did,
autograph.
and then he got banned from forever, probably.
Worth it.
That was fuck. That's the greatest because he looked like he's just like thought he could do it. Like he looks like he's drunk enough to just think that's completely normal. That I'm going
You
to walk
notice now
onto a
that,
hot.
that part of the track now has a fence.
Yeah, he just walks onto a hot racetrack, even though they're under red flag. Like Kenseth's doing a fucking appearance. Like,
Yeah. Hey, can you sign this?
You just appeared in front of my camper.
Yes.
What's up? It's the fucking greatest.
Oh,
That's
man.
why they added passenger windows.
Yep. All right. Well, we got nothing else in the chat there.
Yeah, a
We'll.
whole lot of like Levi said, pro tip: just buy a Racing Electronics.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah, that's pretty. Oh yeah, Carter Opley talking about Briscoe when he won, and we said it's probably keeping people there. There was probably some poor guy who just got his toolbox into the back of his pickup when Briscoe won. Ah, damn it! Fine.
I'll stay another
Joe
10
Gibbs,
weeks.
I'm gonna have to rain check that.
Yeah.
Starting on Monday, can't do it.
He had this toolbox delivered to Joe Gibbs, and then he just grabs the cart, fills it with tools, and pushes it back.
I got what I need. I'll
Push
just-
it in the corner. I'll be back.
Yeah.
All right, well, that does it. Before we sign off, head over to our merch site. The link is in the bio of everything.
On Twitter and Instagram, we have a link there that'll bring you all the links to our Discord, to our other social medias where you can find the podcast, and most importantly, our merch store, which go buy yourself some merch.
loosesfast.myshopify.com. Get yourself some merch. Fill out a review.
Hit Kyle up If you don't remember his PayPal, if you want to help us out with sponsoring Brad's car,
Yes, if you want
consider it
to.
a wedding gift for Kyle since it's his bachelor party.
Yeah, you could do that.
So consider it it's a tax deductible wedding gift. It's not tax deductible. Just
not
pretend
tax
it is.
deductible.
Just pretend it is.
But yeah, if you want to donate to the sponsorship, that would be splendid.
That'd be
Certainly
awesome.
no obligation, but that's the only way we got to do this every
other
time. So,
Yep.
so that would be wonderful. Yeah.
Follow us on everything at loosesfast_pod on Twitter and Instagram. Go on YouTube, The Looses Fast Podcast on YouTube. Again, even if you don't watch us on YouTube, just subscribe because it helps.
Yes, it does.
We've been growing by like 1 subscriber every week. So like to see that number jump a
Stacking
little
pennies,
bit.
baby. Stacking pennies.
Would love to see a big jump in that number. It would just make me happy.
It would.
But
I'm Kyle Belcher,
I'm Dan Walker.
Norm Peltier.
and we'll catch you next week.
It's Bristol, baby.
Bristol, baby.
Woo!
Love you.
I like big butts and I cannot. What?